Hello and welcome to the Average FPLers podcast. My name's Russell, and as always, I'm joined by Mike. How we doing?
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy! So it's the end of the season. It's the following Sunday after the end, and we're recording our season review. Um, so let's have a look at what we're going to discuss. So yeah, as I said, season review. We're going to have a look back at game week 38, as well as our FPL 4 results. And then we'll look at the season results in terms of our mini league and how we did. And then we'll look at a bit of analysis of our teams that I've pulled from FPLoptimize.com and ANEWPLA.net. Um, and then we'll also look at our league predictions. So every year we predict how the Premier League is going to turn out. Spoiler, we did not predict very well this year. So
Yeah,
we'll
there were a lot of. This was the lowest season for managerial changes this year on
yeah,
record for the Premier League, but um, the one that all of us got stumped by was Gary O'Neill came in after we'd done our predictions.
yeah, we all had Wolves, I think, to go down,
Yeah, done
and
and dusted.
yeah, and that they they did quite well in the end. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, we'll see that. We'll get to that. So yeah, first up, let's have a look back at game week 38. Obviously, last week now. Um, I finally had a good week. I've had an awful few weeks since about game week 31, but I finally got another green arrow,
Hooray!
which did help me out. It's got me to a respectable rank. Um, Improved my position in the mini league. I didn't get quite into the top 10, but um, yeah, it was alright. At least I finished on a high, as it were. The only
Yeah,
disappointment is if I'd picked the right captain, anyone but Haaland, pretty much, then I would have been in 100 points and absolutely laughing. But
I mean, if I'd gone against Haaland, I would have got Green Arrow. So
yeah, yeah, but yeah. I mean, my two transfers went right this week. Took out Haaland and Barkley, brought in Eze and Foden, and that rewarded me with quite a lot of points.
you took out De Bruyne, right? Not Haaland.
I took out De Bruyne. Yeah, did I
Yeah,
say
he said
Haaland?
Haaland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I took out
and
De
he said
Bruyne.
he bought it. And he said he bought in Foden. I was like,
Can't do
am I
that.
having a stroke? You can't do that.
Yeah, no, I took out De Bruyne because I think De Bruyne he was flagged, weren't he? So
Yeah,
it
he
was
got injured at Tottenham.
yeah, so it was doubtful he's going to play, and I thought, oh, do you know what, sod it. I'll bring Foden in. I just had a feeling about Foden, and yeah, I was right. Disappointingly, I was right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was. I had Foden. See if I'd captained him.
yeah,
Easy streak, Green Arrow.
yeah. Well, annoyingly, I'd been captaining De Bruyne over Haaland, and then this week I thought, no, Haaland, and then obviously Foden when he got the points. It was annoying, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess we should have seen it coming after Foden got Player of the Season.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just didn't, and I knew West Ham were going to be bad.
yeah.
I just didn't realize West Ham were going to be conceded within the first minute, kind of bad.
Yeah, they could have at least held on a bit, gave Arsenal fans a little bit of hope, but
I mean,
no.
it was just. I mean, they did well to bring it some respectability back to the game, West Ham, but
Mm,
for the first 45, they were hanging on for dear life.
yeah,
They could have been. I mean, Haaland missed an open goal. I mean, mixed feelings about that now because I wouldn't have got anything for that. My score would have looked a little better if he'd scored that. Um, but it wouldn't have got me a green arrow.
no, and you probably would have
Uh,
lost your cup game as well, seeing
I would have
as
lost my cup game against like almost everyone
yeah,
because
especially
one
in
of
our
three
mini
hit
league
him.
because triple captain Haaland.
Yeah.
So,
So it was unfortunate. What I should have done, my plan would didn't change the whole time. Even when I heard rumours about Isak being benched, I was already benching him anyway. So I was kind of pleased that I was benching him anyway, and he was going to be benched. I thought, oh, I'm making the right decision before I'd even knew about leaks.
hmm.
I was bringing Havertz in no matter what because his record and his form recently had been good. And it turns out I should have sold Isak for Mateta, which is another thing I'd
Mm,
considered strongly.
yeah, but I'd
If
considered
I'd
that.
done that,
Yeah.
I would have. I didn't expect Palace to absolutely hammer Villa 5-0.
Nah. Well, I did expect Palace to win. That's why I wanted either Elise, Eze, or Mattel.
I thought Palace would win, but I didn't think it'd be by 5. I thought it'd be like, and I mean, I'm a guy who free hitted 3 of the bastards in last time.
Yeah.
Um, I just thought it'd be like 2-1, 2-0, maybe, and I thought I could get away with that. I expected Arsenal to take this sword to Everton, not realizing that Saka was going to be out the game completely.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing as well. I guess if I'd known Saka was out, I probably would have revised my position because Havertz is not a great of option without that kind of sort of decent player behind him, kind of thing. So
He still did you all right.
yeah, he got me
Havertz.
6 points, I
Mm.
think, or 5. I think he didn't get as many as he could because he got booked. I know that.
Hmm.
And Arsenal, I really needed more than that from Arsenal. I needed them to win by like 2, 3, 4 because I was banking on them, especially after Palace went and just started scoring for a laugh, really. Um, and
Havertz got 6 points.
yeah, which is it's fine, you know, it's absolutely fine as a score, but it could have been and it should have been better.
Yeah. And
Um,
we haven't mentioned your bench. 32 points on your bench.
so yeah, so the problem with my bench was is I because my head was set of how I wanted to go. I was benching Isak no matter what,
Hmm.
and I was bringing in a midfielder, and Havertz seemed like the best choice. But the problem with doing that is I obviously benched Isak. Isak got 14,
Hmm.
and then the
Dallo.
one that no one expected, Dallo, kept a clean sheet away
And
and got
scored.
a massive haul, yeah, and all 3 bonus, which is, I mean, you can't.
And I stuck with him. I mean, he's been awful.
Yeah,
He's been absolutely awful for me since I brought him in.
well, I
And it,
stuck with him. I just didn't play him. I didn't start him. Like I'd
mm,
started him the week before. He was on a bench boost, and he got me like 3 points total. So if I'd played the bench boost in 38, I think I would have got like 9 points more.
whether I would have played, if I had more to play for, I probably wouldn't have played him.
No,
But because I had nothing to play for, I thought, do you know what? He's got the potential of attacking returns. Sod it, I'll leave him in.
and
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 and yeah, it worked out.
add into the fact that after the deadline had gone, you then found out that it was Deserby's last game,
Yeah.
and so that would have made me go, okay, maybe Brighton will be bad then. Maybe I should have gambled harder on Man United,
Hmm.
but I didn't because why would I? I thought Deserby on the Thursday had been talking about what transfers he'd wanted and what was going to happen in the summer, and within like 48 hours he'd been sacked. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, it was a one that was weird because you got no leaks about players like Saka and that, which I'm not complaining about. It'd be better if
Well,
we
we
didn't get
we
leaks.
knew
Period.
Saka was flagged, didn't we? So we knew it
We
was a
knew
go.
we knew he had a knock, but Arteta had made it quite clear he was fine,
Yeah.
which was a lie. Um, and then the leak we got about Newcastle, which was Gordon hadn't travelled, we knew that semi anyway because he took that massive hit in Newcastle's last game. but the rumor about Isak being benched was completely false.
Yeah.
So at least in my case, I wasn't playing him because I would have been absolutely steaming
Hmm.
if I benched him on that knowledge. And it
Yeah.
turned out, So I can't have too many regrets because the players I was going to bench anyway, I benched. They just did really well, which is a real slap across the face. But I can't really do much about that. Um, I did all right with Tottenham players. I
Mm.
should have done better, really. Madison had like a couple of gilt edge chances, and he just didn't, put them away,
Yeah.
which was really disappointing because he was like my massive differential going into that final game of the season. I think he got 6, 7. It's
6.
fine.
Madison got
And
6.
Porro did really
Son got
well.
7. Porro 14.
Yeah, see, so I did all right. I mean, loads of my players scored.
Yeah.
They just didn't outscore Crystal Palace players,
Yeah. Well, I
you
think
know. And
I put your 4 players up there that didn't really return you points, which obviously Haaland, captain, Jackson, Vardiol, and Gabriel.
let's see,
I could have put Raya in there as well because
the Arsenal one was the most disappointing because they've been absolutely bang on reliable all season for clean sheets
yeah,
and a double Arsenal defence. The final game of the season was actually a differential, and it just didn't work for me.
yeah. Plus
And
Gabriel
Nicola
went off
Jack,
on 59 minutes as well.
yeah, Gabriel was. That's because Arsenal needed something, so they started
Did his
throwing
shoulder
caution to the wind.
as well.
Yeah,
That's why.
but
Uh,
injury, Arsenal weren't was playing chasing. Then he just was like, I'm going for it.
yeah.
So yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
bit of
so
a nightmare.
you were telling me I was mad to bench Gabriel as well. Well, worked out right,
Um,
didn't it?
well, I mean, but on the basis Arsenal went to Old Trafford and kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
They went to Old Trafford, they kept a clean sheet, they made it look incredibly easy
I
in all
knew
respect.
Everton's a bit of a bogey team for Arsenal, and I knew.
I knew
Plus,
Everton
like
would
I
want to
said,
try and
because I didn't have anything to play for as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Everton wanted to spoil the party like they did with Liverpool. It's just obviously in my sense I just didn't think it would happen because Arsenal had gone so close last season and then thrown it away.
Hmm.
I thought they'd be super focused, and again, could be because they were missing Saka.
Mm.
As much as you go, "Oh, one player can't change, it can change it dramatically." So, and
Yeah.
then I just again Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham should have had like at least another 2 goals, and we just didn't take our chances. Man City were like they were a couple seasons ago, really wobbly, and and you know they it looked easy in the first half. It definitely didn't look easy in the second half,
Mm.
and so yeah, the transfer I did was fine. It Gordon got 0, Havertz got 6. It just if I'd gone a little more ballsy like I used to do on the final day of the season, I used to always take the odd hit here and there to get players like Mane or whatnot in and have a proper gamble.
Yeah.
I would have been rewarded higher if I'd gone and got Mateta and Havertz and then just dropped Jackson. That would have served me better.
Hmm.
But I kept with Jackson because I thought, oh well, Chelsea
Who
are
did Chelsea out there? Bournemouth. Yeah.
Bournemouth at home, and Chelsea were still competing for Europe.
Yeah.
So everyone I kind of had something to play for. Tottenham needed the win to guarantee European football, Europa League. Chelsea needed a win, I think, to guarantee 6. But if Spurs slipped up, they could get fifth.
Yeah.
And so I went with all the teams that like still someone had something to play for because in my head that made sense because that's how we all do it. It just turns out that really the team that I should have picked because they were just in such ridiculous form was Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
And
that's why I went. Like I said, I was set on a Palace player coming in because they were in the best form. So
yeah, and they were probably the most gutted that the season ended.
oh god, yeah, because they're absolutely
Because
flying.
if they'd gone another 3 months like that, they
Yeah.
probably would have got top 5.
Mm-hmm.
It just looked like there was no point was anyone stopping them.
Yeah.
Like no point. They were ridiculously good.
Yeah. If they can keep
And
Eze, Elise, and Mattel, and in that form, they could be very tasty next year.
in that form, it should be fine.
But will
But
they
it's
keep them?
keeping.
Probably not.
Well, Lise, there's a rumor that Lise's got a much smaller release fee than what's been bounding around. So he might have a fee similar to the sort of price of McAllister had in the summer last year
Right.
for
Yeah.
because Liverpool got in for like 30 million. That's the case. Then pretty much all of the top 5 teams are in for Elise.
Yeah.
Even Newcastle, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Mateta's in the last year of his contract, and the strong rumor going around is that Bayern Munich are now looking at him. So I guess to be back up the Kane, which I guess if you're Mateta, it probably means a big payday. You won't play a lot, but
No.
the money you'll get.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see him stay and see if he could carry that form on for another season. And then the only one that's maybe the least likely of the 3 to go is Eze because he signed a new contract less than like 7 months ago. But that doesn't mean that doesn't safeguard him.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
Because someone could go, oh yeah, I'll pay whatever the asking price is.
Yeah.
And they'll just go and get him. So yeah, there's a there's a lot of questions. And it should be a semi-exciting window, but again, the Euros are on, so maybe we won't see any transfer movement. Some will try and get it done early, and then
Yeah.
if it doesn't get done early, it'll be like a mad dash to the finish.
Yeah, quieten down while the Euros is on, I imagine, and then after that, yeah, free for all then.
Yeah, but after that, you've only got like 2.5, 3 weeks before the season starts, so it's all a mad rush.
Yeah.
To get in things as quickly as possible. So hopefully we see some movement. Hopefully we see some players moving around, and hopefully we see some stuff. I'd like Palace not to get pulled apart, but yeah, it is what it is. If they sold like 1 or 2 of those players, the amount of money they've got, they could reinvest and buy several new players to make that squad younger further.
Yeah.
Turned out Walton was the best sign in the January. I mean, he's in the England squad at the moment. He deserves to be there. In absolute quality for Palace. So I hope he goes to the England squad because he's the type of midfielder that we kind of need.
Yeah.
And we don't have. So, but he probably won't go because, of course,
we can take
we haven't
more
got that.
players this year, can't we? But
you can take 26, but is that still going to put him in? I don't know.
Probably not.
I mean, I understand you'll probably want to take with the 3 extras you can take. You'd want to take players that can play multiple positions, probably. But Wharton would be good because he could play 6 or 8, which is handy to have. I'd take Eze because he could play anywhere across the front 3. And I think I said there's a defender in there that's surprising. I can't remember who it was that I said I'd take to people the other day. I said I wouldn't take John Stones, and that made a few people unhappy. He's barely played like 50% of the matches. If you're going to take something that injury prone, you're asking for trouble, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
So
against that.
why do it? If you're bringing in these new centre backs like Kwanzaa and stuff like that, whose form towards the end of the season was really good, and they're the potential future because they're all like 21, 22. Take them. leave Stones at home.
Mm-hmm.
If Stones got the summer off as well, maybe next season he's not so injury prone.
I don't care about
I don't. I mean, it's not a
that.
big deal in the sense of that for our teams 'cause we don't support Man City, but
Yeah.
that would be good for England if he gets a summer off
Hmm.
to get a complete proper rest instead of us, playing him and only getting one game out of him. John Stones is the new Ledley King,
Mm.
right? If we only get one game out of him from the group stages to like the last eight,
Hmm.
it's not worth taking him
Yeah.
because it means you
The
can't rotate.
problem is, I assume Maguire's on the list as well.
Yeah, he
He's
should be
in.
fit.
He's injured as well. So.
True, but at least his injury is not like long term. The one that's surprising the most that's not on there is Tamori. He plays regularly for AC Milan, and he doesn't seem to even get a look in.
Mm.
So
Southgate don't go to Italy.
apparently not,
Yeah.
which is weird
Yeah.
because you go, he's a good player. He's right there. Just pluck him.
Yeah.
Just use him.
Yeah.
He's a decent kid, and
Yeah. Well,
there's no
it's
way Lewis Dunk should be getting in front of him.
not like we've got riches of defenders to choose from.
No,
So.
no, and Tamori's like 25, 26, so he's a good age.
Yeah.
He didn't get any. I don't think he got any minutes in the last sets of fixtures either, which is fucking stupid.
Hmm.
Drives me
Hmm.
nuts.
Hmm.
Like we've got all these players that have got hopeful futures, and we're picking like these old boys that are getting one game out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I mean, and it could like some of the players that we pick could come at the expense of Palmer or Gordon, who've been fantastic this season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to leave by either of those behind for the Euros? I no would be my answer, but
Yeah. Well, yeah.
we might end up
Like
leaving one behind.
midfield and attack, that's tough. So there's going to be some surprises left out there, but defense should be easy.
Should be, it won't be.
I mean,
Do you take Joe Gomez?
we ain't got any left backs, which is a problem.
No. Well,
Um,
Shaw's in the team, but he's not fit
yeah,
like Maguire, and he hasn't touched a ball in months.
yeah,
But do you play Trippier left back, who's played there the most in the national,
mm,
or do you play Joe Gomez, who's played there the most, and he's played there for Liverpool? He's got like a 1,200 minutes at left back this season, and he's been fine there.
yeah.
Do you take them or do you not? Because people will complain and saying, no, we should have taken Hall from Newcastle. And well, he only had like 3 good games.
Mm,
Is that the prerequisite now? You have 3 good matches towards the end of the season. You're in, mate.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. We've drifted a bit. It's just
yeah.
obviously frustrations, I guess,
Yeah.
around players and whatnot.
Well, that's the next thing for us to start looking at and thinking about is
Yeah,
England and the Euros. So yeah, it's in the mind. But yeah. But yeah, we should probably move on. I think up next is to see our FPL4 for game week 38.
bad, I think, as far as my memories.
Well, yours is bad because you only got 6 points.
Yeah, because I picked Saka.
Yeah. Gaz had another absolute stormer and got 35 points, and I got 23, which we'll see in a moment. Wasn't quite enough. Almost. I needed to catch you by 20 points.
Yes, that means
So
you 3 behind, 3 short.
3 short.
Yeah.
So if Haaland had
I
scored
won something else.
that chance, then I
Yeah.
would have done it.
Yeah, curtains for me, wouldn't it?
Or if Salah had got one, or yeah. But close. I mean, closer than I thought it was going to be. So
Yeah. I think my last 2 weeks have been exceptionally bad, right?
yeah,
This week I couldn't help it. I didn't know Saka was going to be out.
yeah,
Yakpo should have scored. I mean, Wolves played with 10 men for over an hour.
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah,
And then I knew the Luton gang was going to be end to end. I had already said it to you. I said that they were going to go for it, even though it was impossible because they needed like 11-goal swing. And then that turned out to be like a 6-7 goal thriller, didn't it? So
Yeah.
that's my own fault.
Yeah, there you go. That's final game of the season, isn't it? Weird one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, again, didn't pick any Crystal Palace players for this.
no. Yeah, that's where we all went wrong.
Yeah.
I really should have done. I think I did think of Mateta, or maybe I couldn't pick him. I'd possibly picked him in 37.
Yeah, the week before, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
picked Mateta in FPL Greyheads 1 week punt league,
Oh,
and that romped us home to victory.
oh, lovely. Yeah.
That's how I showed you that picture the other day of our trophies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We won a bar of chocolate that said that we were winners, and we also won a Star Bar
Mm.
because everyone picks Star Bar if you're winning, right? You know,
Oh, well, yeah, it's one of the best, isn't it?
it's top tier, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I said to him, I was like, oh, it's the best chocolate bar by a country mile. You got to have a Star Bar, and otherwise, what's the point?
Did you get to choose?
Yeah, of course we got to choose.
Oh, that's good.
I romped home, Russ. I didn't romp home by a bit. I romped home by a lot
Yeah.
because no one else for Prediction League is mad enough to pick Ben Me 1 week to get top scorer, and I picked Ben Me, and I picked Mateta twice. The 2 times Mateta got massive points, which is this week, and in 34 when I free hit him in,
Mm-hmm.
I got maximum points each week for it. So yeah.
There you go.
And then there were some other weeks where I got like second place and third place. I think I also got first place with maybe a Dallo pick as well because I'm an idiot and I picked Dallo and he did really well. But you got to be slightly insane. So the rules for that competition was the players had to be under 10% owned by the time of the deadline
Mm-hmm.
and under £8 million.
Mm.
And you could pick the same player every week if you wanted to, like a mad bastard, but I didn't. Um, yeah, I had some fun with it. Went wild.
Yeah.
And romped us home. So you've got a Star Bar waiting for you.
Well, that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Bringing home bacon and confectionery.
Awesome. And I had
So we'll
absolutely no
see.
input in it, really.
No,
Well,
none at all. You didn't even realize we were competing.
no, I think you mentioned it. But,
Yeah, I mentioned it a few times to you and Gaz.
yeah.
I do like mentioning things.
Yeah. Yeah.
See if you're listening.
Yeah. Well, I probably subconsciously helped you with some of those decisions.
Well, I mean, yeah, take some small victory out of it, even though you did nothing. But
Yep,
yeah,
I
I
will.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure my guidance was of much assistance. So
your heavy expertise.
yeah. See, like maybe Porro this week would have
Yeah,
been good.
or it would have been good. It wouldn't have been as good as Mateta, would it?
No, I wouldn't. But
See,
probably the best Tottenham choice though this week, I think.
yeah, he was the best Tottenham choice by a country mile.
Yeah.
I was glad to own him. I just I didn't think it, did I? I didn't captain him or anything like that.
No. No.
I mean, I guess the final score made Gaz slightly closer and more respectable as well after 2 really good weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, if we have a look, yeah, like we said, yeah, you finished on 697. I was closely behind 694, and Gaz was 654. So yeah, what's that? Only 40 points off. So Gaz a bit like Palace. He needed a few more weeks, and he probably would have caught us
Yeah.
with the way he was going. So
Oops.
oh, and you got
So
to
I
consider he
average.
missed a week as well. He missed the very first
Yeah,
week.
but that's his own fault being a dick.
Oh yeah.
So if he played the first week, it would be like 10 points less than that.
Yep. That would have been
But
my
I'm not.
choice.
I'm not taking. That's just his cop out now for everything. He's like, oh, I could have beat you in the league if I'd started on game week. We'll start on game week 1 then. Don't be a fucking twat. Do you
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just me going, oh yeah, I could have beat you in that race if I'd run it on the same day as you. It's bollocks. It's someone copping out because they were acting too much of a diva to
It's
even
too.
compete.
It's too scared. He was too scared.
Yeah, load of old
Did
fucking bollocks.
didn't have the minerals.
And then he
No.
claims he was going to win anyway if he'd captain Palmer. No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have captain Palmer against Man United. You just wouldn't have. Yeah. So yeah, turns out that I averaged 18.3 points a week.
It's not
You
bad.
averaged 18.2, and Gaz averaged 17.2, which is not bad. That's what, between 4 players, it's about 4.5 points
Yeah.
each player.
That's averaging, a return from each player pretty much, near enough.
4.5 feet, 4.5 points from each player each week for 38 weeks. That's much better than I think we did last season.
Uh, yeah, possibly. I'd have to have a look.
Mm-hmm.
I possibly can check that.
You just confer.
Oh, where is it?
Hell, where is it? Where's your data? You have to get yourself a flash drive or this data you're gonna have left.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I got him on OneDrive. Oh no, our scores were a lot worse this year. We did a
Oh,
lot
there.
better last year. There you go.
Is that because
Uh,
last year
I'm
had more
gonna,
doubles,
gonna,
or you
I'm
were
gonna,
just
gonna pop it over there. I got 825 last year. You got
oh Christ,
748. I mean, Gaz
oh
done a lot
Christ,
better because he got 505, but then Gaz was doing themed picks towards the
themes
end.
for about
So
20 weeks.
yeah, so we've clearly got a lot
Yeah.
worse at FPL4. So
Sweet.
that's fun.
That's something to make us feel a bit shittier about.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fuzz.
Oh well. Well. Well, on that note, we should probably move on. Get this screen off because we've just realised we're
Yeah,
we're actually
just
rubbish.
we're phenomenally bad.
We were patting ourselves on the back as well. Going, oh, it's really
Well,
good.
technically, I still won. So even if it's the lowest scoring season, I
Yeah,
still won.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Just,
that's
I only
I
needed
won
one more week, and I would have caught you.
probably.
Yeah, yeah.
But although after Palace winning 5-0, everyone would have put Palace in their predictions the following week, and they wouldn't have got anywhere near 5 goals. They would have got like a 2-1 win or a 1-0 win.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, this is a side note. How did the Newcastle Tottenham post friendly go? Has that been played?
Yeah, we lost on penalties.
Ah. Who played? Did everyone play or bit of a weird
Well,
thing?
Kieran Trippier started and he went
Mm.
off after 30 minutes.
Oh,
So that
oh,
caused rife speculation that he was injured. But
yeah.
Eddie Howe said no, it was just we agreed only to give him that long, which means they weren't expecting to get called up to England. He got called up to England, and then they went, okay, he's still recovering from injury. Got to give something for the punters in uh,
Yeah,
in Australia are paying like probably hundreds of dollars to see
yeah.
footballers, and then half of them don't turn up because they've gone to their international teams.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was 1-1. Madison scored for us. I think Isak scored for them. Went to penalties. By the time it went to penalties, though, all of the big guns had pretty much all gone off
Yeah, I bet.
for both sides.
Yeah.
Most of them didn't last longer than about an hour. Um, and in penalty shootout, first penalty for Tottenham was Brian Hill, and he missed. And he was the only one who missed. And then every subsequent player converted.
Scored.
Newcastle 1-5-4.
Uh,
Newcastle then played another friendly several days later
oh dear.
against an Australian All Stars.
Okay.
That was a very much no Newcastle first teamers in it, pretty much, I think. And Newcastle lost 8-0.
Oh, blimey.
Because
Not great.
it was quite funny. It was quite funny. People were going, oh, yeah, Newcastle. People were saying the A League's bad, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
because they see the final scores, but they didn't see the lineup. And yeah, I mean, I don't even think Carrius played for Newcastle. I
Right.
think it was all youth players. So, I mean, still a little embarrassing for your youth players.
Mm,
Yeah, an 8-0 hiding, but
yeah.
it's all experience. And you can take that experience of that knock playing a summer friendly like a
Yeah.
week after the league ended and going, oh, this is something for you to go away
They
and build on now for
they all got
pre-season.
a jolly to Australia, so it's not all bad.
Got Jolly, got to run out.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know if they've got any more friendlies, Newcastle. I don't know if Tottenham have as well.
you'd
I know
assume not. I
Tottenham have
mean,
got.
there's no point to it. I know a lot of people moaned about it, and I was like, oh, right, fair enough. Like, it's a bit of a jolly. It's quite nice.
It,
In a way, it's quite nice to end the season. I kind of
it's a
party
good
kind of
way.
thing. Go,
It's a
oh,
good
we'll
way
go
for a
Australia,
team
play a
bonding.
game, make a
We'll
bit of
play a
money.
game. They're going to make a lot of money. The
Yeah.
two of the teams doing it.
Yeah.
Um, it is strange though, because especially like it's not the players, obviously, because a lot of people turn on the players and went, "Oh, look at them complaining about playing too many games," and
I'm
then they're
sure they
Australian.
didn't.
You're like,
They probably didn't want to
yeah,
play it. They were like, oh, really?
exactly.
But
James Maddison's not sitting there going, "Do you know what I want to do 4 days after the season ends? I want to fly to Australia to play in like it was cold, I think, at the moment in Australia, right? You would know.
yeah, I don't know. Depends where they went
It's
as
like the
well.
opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was colder than it would be
Probably is
what
their
it is
winter.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of the players are tired.
Hmm.
They all want to go on holiday for a week, 10 days before they have to go to England.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's our management going, anyway, lads, smile for the cameras. We're about to fly for 27 hours to Australia.
And you're not going
So,
to be happy if you play and get injured as well, especially before an international tournament. So,
yeah, well,
yeah.
that's possibly one of the reasons why Trippier only did like half an hour because he's not played many games
Yeah.
since coming back from a 2 month layoff. And the only reason he's played as many minutes as he has in those recent games was because Eddie Howe said they lost Livramento, so they had no choice.
Hmm.
So, I mean, otherwise, it's clear as day he probably would have only started the last game. He might not even have started that. He might have only come on as a sub.
Yeah,
So,
he only got 1 point. I know that.
yeah,
So,
I mean, it's England's benefit that Trippier got more minutes,
yeah.
but it was risky.
Yeah.
He was not ready, and so yeah, I don't know what's happening now. If Newcastle got any more or Tottenham have got more. If they do, it's clearly going to be with the youth players.
Yeah.
Maybe some players stay out there and just spend a couple of weeks out there on holiday
Mm.
with the manager. Because I know we've got a pre-season friendly in Korea, and I think we've got one in Japan as well.
Hmm.
We're playing Bayern Munich twice this pre-season.
Mm.
I think we're playing them in one of the either Korea or Japan, and I think we're playing them at home like a week later.
Hmm.
So yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of travelling again for Tottenham this this pre-season.
Yeah.
Which half our team won't be there anyway because they're either going to be at the Euros or the Copa America.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
same for
Yeah.
the other teams. Everyone's going, oh yeah, cool, these players, eh? And they
Hmm.
still go, but they don't want to go to these places, and they're asked for extra time off because they're going to finish the Euros and be absolutely exhausted. And even then, they only got what 2 weeks, and then they're thrown right back into the deep end again. So they
Hmm.
didn't even get the national minimum amount of vacation in this country, which is 4 weeks.
Yeah, true.
Some get two, maybe three if they're lucky.
Yeah.
They go, oh yeah, well they're footballers anyway. They earn all that money. It's not even a real career. And you're like, well, I think it is, and the tolls it takes on their body.
Yeah, well, once they retire, they'll have loads of time off, won't they? So it'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
same as me. I have loads of time off once I'm dead. I mean, what am I
Exactly.
bitching about?
So there you go.
Yeah, why not just grow up?
Yep. Yep.
Fucking wokeism, innit, eh? Sleep when you're dead. Grow up.
Exactly.
Now go play this other friendly in fucking Mozambique.
Uh,
But
right.
yeah,
So season review.
season review.
23, 24.
but I did win I won FPL4.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I won FPL4. I won the predictions for Greyhead. I won our Mini League Cup. I won the Passley League and the Passley Cup double. I won
Mm.
Draft League as well. Oh,
You didn't win our head-to-head though. I won that. So
yeah, you won
yeah.
that and then gave up because you wallsed it after you won.
That, I mean, that just goes to show how bad the end of my season was, because I won that like, I don't know, it must have been around about game week 30, something like that.
Yeah,
I'd secured that, and that is when my season just went completely downhill. So
yeah, because you were too busy celebrating, weren't you, with your
maybe, yeah,
champagne bottles?
yeah, I was on the sauce.
Yeah, and I was finally coming out of the throes of having to deal with dog cancer for the last 3 months, so I could
Right.
finally focus on something else in my life.
Yeah, clearly
I took it
worked.
serious
Yeah,
and pulled out some winners.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, as you
I'm
said,
not gonna
yeah,
like this.
FPL 4 for
You're gonna
you,
show.
league predictions as well for you. Got by that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Oh,
a mass total of getting 2 right compared to me
hey,
and Gaz getting 1. But
2 is still more than 1. That's double your score.
you're right. Yeah,
I am a victor by double your score. Does
yeah,
not matter about how many. It's still double what you've got.
yeah.
And, and that takes some serious, serious dedication.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even the obvious one. None of us got Man City top.
No. Yep. None of us went Man City top. I don't know why, but none of us did.
I don't know why.
So,
We just like, yeah, no, that won't. That's not realistic.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see that, review that towards the end. But yeah, I mean, as for our results, yeah, you finished 184k in the world. I was 583, and Gaz was 1.27 million. Um, well, yeah, we didn't have very good cup runs in the overall cup. You and Gaz made it to game week 19, but
That's the second week, right?
well, I went out in game week 16, so which I
Okay,
was
3 weeks
probably the
then.
first week.
That's all right.
Yeah, well, for you, ish. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't fare much better in the our mini league cup either. I went out in game week 33.
That's your own fault. You were the winner past season.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, at least you did at least you did keep it in house and won. So I was rooting for you to
Dust.
win that one.
That was close.
Yeah,
Considering my opponent had triple captain on the last day,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
and the week before when I had bench boosted, the guy I was up against had free hit. So I
yeah.
bet I beat him by a couple of points.
There you go.
It was really hard going to win a cup game and still put up a team that was capable of doing well in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. You can't really do both.
No,
Not without some incredible amounts of luck. So
you you
yeah,
you said it.
yeah, I rode that wave of luck
Yeah.
to a cup win. I don't even have a trophy, and the amount of trophies I've just won this season.
Yeah, maybe we need to get a trophy, but if we get a trophy
I think
now, we'll
so.
probably lose it next year and have to give it to someone.
That's
Don't know
fine.
if I want to do that.
Yeah, and then they won't ever give it back, will they, the bastards?
Yeah. So
Well, unless we make the trophy our faces, then they'll definitely want to give it back.
yeah, maybe I'll give you a star bar. There you go.
Yeah.
You can give me that star bar, and I'll just give it straight back to you. Congratulations.
Yes. I don't care. Star bar me up. That's still more than what I originally had.
In terms of our mini league, you were sixth. You finished.
Fifth, technically.
Was it fifth technically?
Well, yeah,
Or
because
what's
someone
the
fucking
technicality?
joined on the last week.
Oh, did they? Oh yeah, I see
Yeah, guy
someone.
finished fourth.
Oh really? See.
Yeah. So they
Then
hadn't been in our league all season.
we need to
They joined
close
at the
it.
last minute. Yeah, I needed to set the parameters so it closed it like a couple of weeks before the thingy.
Yeah, I
But
see
because
someone joining late, and I was like, hang on, bloody last
yeah,
week. That's a bit sneaky.
there you go. So it
Yeah.
didn't do that great, but they jumped in and they finished fourth. But
Awesome.
technically, I finished joint fifth with the guy above me,
Oh, well,
but
I'll
it
take
put
that
me
then.
lower.
I was in the top 10 then, based on
Yeah,
that. So, yeah, that's good.
yeah. Some random lad jumps in because they wanted bragging rights to come in top. I guess that's a great way to do it, right?
Yeah.
You
Well, I
check
mean,
people's podcasts. If you're having a really good season, you go, I'll join
I'll
this
jump
league.
in that.
Yeah, I'll finish in the top two.
Yeah. Well,
People read your name out and praise you.
fourth by the looks of it, the
Yeah.
person that got in. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, our champion was Pochenheimer,
Hmm.
and second was Cash in the Matip.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that's good. So fifth for you, 10th for me. We're discounting that very late joiner. Then
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
I think we should.
Yeah,
I mean, if you joined 2 or 3 weeks before the end, fine. But to
fine.
join on the last game week and sneak in,
I know. Yeah, outrageous.
that's a piss take.
Yeah. Right, next year,
That's my own
remember,
fault.
we'll have a car next year.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
hoping not to have dog cancer inflict like 3.5 months worth of misery. So
Mm.
I will be more focused on FPL from January onwards, and then I'll be able to take the cup more seriously, and I'll close things off, etc.
Hmm.
Gaz might be back, so maybe he'll take over some stuff. I doubt it, but
You're funny. Yeah, you're
I don't
very
know.
funny. Uh,
Too busy being middle aged in pubs
yeah.
on his own.
Right, analysis for our teams. So we've got some points analysis. Uh, so obviously the points we finished on, you were 2,450. I was 2,359. But what I found really interesting about this little thing that I picked out is how many bench points we got.
A lot.
281 for you and 325 for me.
Well, I feel better now.
Yeah, there you go. I knew mine was high. I had a lot of points on my bench this year, and I mean, especially that free hit week where I got 16 points on the field and like 40 odd points on my bench. So
Feel
yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah. For you,
Oh, for me, hilarious.
yeah. but um, but yeah, yeah. What can you do? What can you say? It's
Some of them
annoying.
you can't really do much about, like the final game week. 30 of those points for that final game week, and I'd made a decision that I wasn't playing exact, so I can't really be mad about that. And if you told me that Dallo was keeping a clean sheet away to Brighton, I wouldn't have believed you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not with the form Man United have been in.
No.
So yeah, there was some of them have been frustrating. Most of them, in terms of the points that have been on my bench, I've just accepted because I knew those were my decisions and I would have stuck to them. I didn't do anything this season like some people benched Phil Foden when he got a hat trick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at our charts, comparing our points per game week against the average, it's pretty steady. Pretty against the average. I'd say mostly above. We've had a few little dips here and there. Um, Obviously, my big area came, as I said before, between 31 and 37, where I sat
Yeah,
consistently below the average score. Hence why I dropped from 35k in the well to 184 and from second in our mini league to 10th.
quite the drop.
Yeah. Whereas yours, yeah, you since 33 for you, you've been way above the average. Hence why your finish to the season has been been very good.
I made a significant amount of my points in the last 7-8 weeks. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was nearly 600 points in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I got 3 double digit, triple figures.
Yeah, 115 in 34 and 106 in 36.
Yeah,
Actually no, 142. Yeah, you got three triple figure digits.
yeah. So Sam, I absolutely went hog wild at one point, and I was on an unstoppable sort of recovery after. Once you get time to actually sit down and not be on like an hour's sleep and completely frazzled, you can actually make some decent decisions and live by them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all started in 34, which is when I played my free hit. That was because I went triple palace.
There you go.
I went triple palace, and I went the defender that no one went. Everyone went Munoz, and I went Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And that week, Palace kept one clean sheet, which was the second game against Newcastle. But the first game they beat West Ham 5-2, and Anderson had got an assist, which was fantastic for me.
Yeah.
I had Mateta, I had Eze, I kept Solanke, and I also found room to get Odegaard in. I went a double Arsenal attack, and Odegaard got 20 points. I think he was the highest Arsenal scoring player. But I did on my free hit, which was incredibly frustrating. I benched Pickford, who got 18, started Neto because I thought Bournemouth had the better fixtures,
Mm-hmm.
and Neto only played the first game, and then he lost his spot
Oh
and
yeah.
didn't play again.
Yeah. That was annoying.
I think actually Neto played the last game of the season, but I would never have played him then anyway. But
Yeah. No.
yeah, um, that was the start of my return. Uh, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 green arrows in a row after that.
Yep.
So, and my lowest score in 1, 2. I got 4. Sorry, my lowest score in those 4 was 86.
Yep. I was going to say your lowest score of the season was in 29 by the looks of that chart. I think we see in a minute.
That
Same as
the
me.
blank game week,
Yeah, that was the blank game week.
and I
12, I
didn't
think,
free
got.
hit though, thankfully.
I
Yeah, I had
did, and I only got
16 minus 4.
16. And that was the week I had my massive bench score as well, just to rob salt in the wounds. So,
So about a fifth of my game week points come from the last 5 game weeks. I got 542.
yeah.
But in game week 29, I had been slowly building to it. So I'd taken a hit the week before in 28 to get a Dogie in,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sat him on the bench.
Yeah.
And I'd done okay in game week 28 because I had Son, who actually that was one of his only good game weeks. He got 17 points,
Yeah.
and then I went into game week 29, and I played with 9 players. No, 8. I played with 8 players
Hmm.
on a -4, and I walked away with 12 points.
Yeah.
So that wasn't great. I had 3 Tottenham for 29, and they got beat 3-0 by Fulham,
Yeah.
which was
Well,
bad.
yeah, that was. I had all Fulham players on my bench. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
But that made me better for game week 30 because it meant I had 3 Tottenham against Luton,
Mm-hmm.
which didn't work out that well in the end. The only one that did work out well was Son, but I also had Alex Moreno in game week 30 because I'd carried him over, and Aston Villa kept a clean sheet, and Moreno got 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
I got 70 odd points that week.
Yeah.
So, oh, and Adam Smith. Adam Smith was like my little golden ticket guy
Hmm.
because I carried him. I carried him from 29 because he didn't have a game, and I didn't transfer him out. He got 5 in game week 30, and in game week 31, Smith got 9 points. I got like 16 points from double Bournemouth defence. They beat Palace 1-0 at home.
Yeah,
I think that's the last time Palace were really bad.
I had a couple of good
1-0
ones from
loss.
Bournemouth because I had Neto and Zabania.
Yeah, see, I had Neto and Adam Smith.
Yeah, but that
Um,
did well for a bit, and then it just didn't do so well towards the end.
yeah, it
Yeah,
fell away.
yeah,
That's because Bournemouth were basically safe by game week 32.
yeah.
And then I tried to shake the tree up a bit and go a bit creative. So I had Darwin and Ait Nuri. Ait Nuri got injured and went off early against West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
So that shagged me. And Darwin, I know what it's like owning Darwin. It's
Yeah.
just frustrating. You got an assist in game week 32, got 5 points, but he hit the bar and the post, God knows how many times.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really difficult this season because I got to 200k, 215k at some point early. So, where am I? Overall rank. I
Yeah.
got to 200k by game week 18, 227. And
Yeah.
then I didn't get back there until game week 36. So it took me double the game weeks to get back there.
Hmm.
And it's
Mm.
not like my drop off was immense from 18. It just was bad in places. Got 3 red arrows after that. Got 3 greens, and then my green arrows weren't chipping away enough gains compared to my reds.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, my overall rank going to game week 33 was 600k, which means that you were 35k around about then. No, I was 600k.
Yeah, probably. I
So we
mean,
passed
my
each other.
good bit of the season was between 16 and 22, 23.
That's when I was falling away.
I got my highest score in game week 20, 106. I don't know if that's where I used my chip. Maybe. Can't remember. But
You might have. I think you were all done by about game week 30 with your chips.
yeah, and that is one of the things that, yeah, my chips didn't really work out, and then not having those chips towards the end, yeah, didn't
It
didn't
worked for
help.
some people. It didn't work for everyone. So don't beat yourself too much in that sense.
Hmm.
For a lot of people going, "Oh, well, if I had my chips," and you're like, "Well, some people did, and they didn't really do that much better either."
No, true. Yeah. Ah, but yeah. So yeah.
Captaincy, I'm sure, was a bad one for us as well because I felt like a lot of games this
Oh
season.
well. Uh. Oh well, we're going to see that in a minute.
Oh,
Got points by events, and I've
yeah.
compared us as well. Um. Yeah, you pretty much beat me in everything.
Hell yeah.
The funny thing about these numbers here, because it works out like how many points you got from minutes, clean sheets, goals. You did better than me in all the positives. So yeah, minutes, clean sheets, goals, assists, and bonus.
Yeah.
I beat you with saves only by 2 points. Um, we didn't have any penalty saves this year,
Oh.
but then my negative scores were better than yours, so I didn't lose points for conceded goals as much, or own goals, or yellow cards and reds.
I mean, that is a lot. That's 4 own goals.
Yeah.
I had 4 own. That's shite.
I did. Oh, there might be a slide in a minute, where it shows things that were on your bench, and I got a bit
Yeah.
lucky. I think I had 2 red cards on my bench and maybe an own goal or something. So
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So I've got at least 1, if not 2 red cards here and 4 own goals.
yeah.
Christ. And a lot of yellow cards. Bloody players picked up a shit ton of yellow
Yeah.
cards.
I did worse for
I
missed
mean,
penalties,
good.
but we had a lot of missed penalties by the looks of it. I mean, -14 for you and -18 for me for missed penalties.
Yeah, it's a -2 for a penalty miss as well.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, I had 7
so yeah.
misses.
How many
You
do I
had
have?
9.
9. Bloody hell. Can't remember though.
Christ.
I assume Salah. He loves to miss
Stalin
a
probably
penalty.
missed like 3 of them, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Isaac missed
Oh,
one, I
yeah.
think. Russ
Yeah.
Solanke missed one, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
And then maybe a Wolves player for us potentially.
I think we don't remember as
Um,
much because they always, I think, even though they missed the penalty, they tended to get points afterwards.
yeah, so I
So it
think
wasn't
Salah,
that
one of
bad.
the weeks
We
he
kind of
missed
went,
one, but he scored the rebound, right?
yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Or at least scored afterwards. So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's very difficult, you know. You you just know that game week it wound you up rotten that your player missed, and you're like, oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And now you look at this and you go, oh, even worse than that. I had 6 other guys
I
miss as
do.
well.
Yeah. So,
I
annoying.
thanks a bunch, lads.
Um, and then, yeah, the other big thing is hits as well. Obviously, I'm more daring than you, than
It's
56.
not daring. You gave up, so you started taking like -12s and -16s, and I was in a town of fortune by then. If you
I
checked hits
don't think that's
before
true.
that point,
I did take,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I was more careful till towards the end, and then I did
yeah, and
take
then
a
you
few
took -12s.
-8s. No,
Yeah, -12.
I don't think I've taken a -12.
You keep saying that. I'm sure you have. Let me
Maybe
have. I'm
one,
on here now.
maybe 1 week.
All right,
That would have
hold
been
on.
the max. Yeah,
View gaming history,
think I did take a
trans
-12 one.
transfer cost. You took a -12 in game week 35,
Yeah.
and then you took a -8 the following week. So you took 20 of your hits. 20 points of your hits were in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
Well, that was my team was doing really bad, and I didn't have any chips, so
yeah. So
needs must.
you took 28 points of your hits in the final 4 game weeks. So you
Yeah,
took half of your hits in the final 4,
yeah.
whereas I obviously took 48.
Space them out.
I took no hits. No hits from 34 onwards. Last hit I took was in game week 33. That's because I had a couple of chips left as well, and I
Yeah.
structured my team. I took one -8 in game week 26, and I took in -8 in game week 20 as well.
Mm.
See, so who's more daring, eh?
Me, clearly, because the stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie.
Yeah.
I think there's like sometimes when I had to take the hits as well, it was because fucking it was suspensions and stuff like Ben Mee. I think got suspended because he got a red card, so I had to take a -8 just to get like 11 out.
Mm-hmm.
Because my defense for most of this season was absolute pants. I was
Ah,
running with like
yeah,
cheapest defense known to man.
yeah.
Like I took a -8 in game week 26 and only got 41 points.
Mm-hmm.
And of those 41 points, Alex Moreno got -1. So, just a jolly lolly little bit of a fun time there,
Yeah.
So 48 is about what I take on average. That's what,
Yeah.
12 transfers? 12? Yeah, 4 points of transfer. That's 12 transfers.
Well, I think we've got to slide 10 less transfers at some point, so
Oh, cool.
we'll see that. Right. Uh, it's more about points. About this.
Yes.
It's the acquisition of them. So showing,
Shit on my wild card, didn't I?
yeah, where your initial points came from, where your wildcard points, and then points from transfers. It
So my initial
shows how
points,
bad my free hit was. One,
yeah, I
probably
started well with my free
less than
hit.
1% of my points come from my free hit. So
I mean, to be honest though, on a free hit, you're not expected to make 5% of your season totals points.
no,
That's an anomaly that would not regularly happen.
yeah,
So I got lucky. I rode that Crystal Palace excitement.
I mean, based on his stats, my wild card and transfers were better than yours, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you didn't get Gordon, so that's bollocks.
I had Gordon at some point and then got rid of him, and I think I did
Yeah.
did get some points from him at some point, but
You're better off
every
because
time I brought him in, he got injured, so then I had to take him back out again. It was like, oh, for God's sake.
he
But,
was uh he was not great for the injuries.
yeah.
But
And I guess the initial points come from players you had on day one.
day one, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really good start to the season, if I remember. Um
It says you got
so
343 points from that. So 14% of your points come from your initial team.
yeah, so I didn't make a lot of first I didn't make any transfers for the first 2 game weeks, and I got um 120 130 points I got from the first 2 game weeks.
Yeah, I don't think we had terrible starts to the season. Not fantastic, but pretty good. So,
Well, I mean, game week 1 I got 77 points.
hmm,
The average was 64, so it wasn't spectacular.
no.
Um, but I captained Haaland. I had triple Brighton to start the season. That's fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, it. We'll see our teams of the season, and there's a few interesting ones in there. I think Estepinian
Yeah.
is one that crops up in there. So, and he was,
Well, I've
yeah,
got
he was a great player at the start of the year.
yeah, first 2 games. Yeah, I think he got 7 points in the first game, and he's got 11 points here in the second game.
Yeah, it's
Um,
the kind of player I thought, well, I'm not ever taking him out of my team. He's gonna stay for the whole season, and then, well,
got
yeah,
injured.
got injured.
He had fallen out.
Yeah, fell out of favour. Um, yeah.
Still annoying. I mean, game week 3. So I started with Destiny Udogie. I told you I wanted him in
Hmm.
my start team. I had him game week 1, didn't start him. Started in game week 2. Game week 3, I benched him and I played Richarlison over him. I think Richarlison was one of my transfers in that week. Let's have a look. Game week 3.
Charlison was
Uh,
a terrible transfer for you.
yes, he was because
He
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 came
did
in.
awful. You
Played,
got rid of him, and then I got him, and he was amazing for me.
he went on a run.
Yeah, he got me loads of
Yeah,
points.
well, Richarlison against Bournemouth should have scored. It was an open goal and he missed it. And then his balls went and his mind went.
Yeah.
And I lost about zero point 0.5 in value on him as well
Hmm.
over the next like 3 weeks. And then he admitted he was having personal problems, so we gave him some time off.
Yeah.
And he came back a changed man. But by then, I didn't want to go near him. I was distracted as well. I was distracted with life, real life shit. So,
Hmm.
but I did remarkably well
Mm.
considering I had real well factors dominating my season. I
Hmm.
last year, bearing in mind last year I had none of those things, and I was like 6 million at Christmas by the time the World Cup started.
Yeah. Last year was a slog, definitely.
Last year I was absolutely terrible,
Yeah.
and then I just managed to fight back into like the top 500k
Yeah.
before the season ended. This season, the only reason someone irritated me, I have to get really angry with someone, and then it makes me determined to beat them.
Yeah. 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 You
And
do
it could be
get.
an off. You have to have an enemy, someone that will put like an underhand comment, and they might say it just in jest, and like, oh, fucking hate you, I'm gonna beat you now, no matter what. I'll do everything that's in my power to beat you,
That is true.
and that's what I do.
That does seem to work for you, weirdly.
Uh, I love it. You gotta have an enemy. So romped home, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well.
yeah, I mean, this that the graph does mean that we do okay initially. So we're picking better at the start of the season. So we don't need to wild card in like game week 3.
Oh yeah, I've definitely been doing the last couple of seasons. I've been doing a lot better with that.
Yes.
So yeah.
Apparently
Right.
something's not in.
Right. So now we start to get into captaincy. Um,
Shush.
Wanted to see how
Yeah.
far we were off from obviously top and
Yes.
probably 100k. So yeah, you're 123 points off 100k, and I was
That's
200.
123 points.
I think so. Yeah, that's how I read it, right?
170k. Not really. I can't
Yeah.
have been that far off.
Well,
Of course.
points difference from 100,001, 123. It says. Oh, hang on. Oh, is that 10? Oh no, that's
That
10.
that's
That's
top
10,000.
10k.
Sorry,
I was gonna say,
100,000 is
Christ, I've
36. Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say I finished 185k. I'd
yeah,
be gutted if I was further off.
yeah. So actually, you're 36 points off 100k,
Yeah,
and I was 127 points off. So
yeah. If you wanted top 10k though, yours was 214.
yeah, and if I want to get rank one, I need to make up 444, 440 points. So
Not that bad. It's just a
yeah,
triple captain of Mateta every week for the next 7 years.
yeah, yeah.
Might catch it.
Just need a bit more luck, I reckon.
Yeah, everyone needs a bit more luck and
Yeah,
getting captaincy right at the right time.
yeah,
The only time it felt like it that really went for us was when you captained Watkins that week, and then he got like 19 points, and no one else had done it. We had. That felt like a great week.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know,
it's
like 30, 31, something
got on
like that.
here listed the captains we used,
Oh yeah.
and how many points they think they gave us. So yeah,
Well, your captains were a lot more varied.
yeah. Well, I've only got one more captain than you. Um, I captained Salah the most, but that only wielded me 154 points. Whereas yeah, you captained Haaland the most and got 266 points out of
Yeah,
that.
that's a lot of that came from when he got 4 goals the other week.
Yeah,
So I got like 42 points, something like that.
yeah. Yeah, well, I've got an interesting thing with Haaland when we look at our teams of the year. So yeah, I'll come to that. Yeah, very interesting.
Well, yeah, I'd captained Haaland nearly half the season.
Did you always have Haaland? No, you sold him at one point and got him back, didn't you?
I sold him before the 29 run, right? I think
Hmm.
because
They had a
Man
blank
City,
and stuff.
yeah, they had a blank. So I had him in 27. I had him in 28. I sold him in 29 for Tony, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't bring him back for 30 or 31. I must have wild carded him in. Yeah. So sold him in 29 and I wild carded him in 34. 35, sorry. I didn't even
Hmm.
use him on my free hit. So I went 6 weeks without him. Uh, yeah. My wild card worked out really well as well in game week 35 because I bought in Petrovic, who got 11 points.
Hmm.
That was the double game week for Chelsea and Tottenham. I had 3 Tottenham that were absolute shite, but 3 Chelsea, Petrovic got 11, Palmer got 8, Jackson got 8, and I bought in 3 Newcastle, didn't I? Share was not very good, but Gordon and Isak got double figures, so that was great for me because
Yeah.
hardly anyone had those two at the time.
Yeah.
And I had Carl Walker because I'm mental like that, and he got 8 points.
Speaking of Palmer, he's probably the one we should have captained a bit more this year. We both only
Yeah.
captained him once.
Yep, I just seen when I captained him, and that was in that double game
That
week.
was it.
And he got 8 points for
Yeah.
16 total.
Yeah, that's what it says on here.
Yeah,
I don't know when I captained him. I only got 10, but so I
one in 35 then.
I didn't pick a great week.
No.
I mean, my worst was I captained Madison one week, and that got me 2 points. So that was fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I did all right in
all
terms.
your captains kind of got you points, really. Well,
Yeah,
probably doesn't show it. You
Son,
probably maybe captained some that didn't get you a
Son
point
and
in a week, but
Salah, I know definitely blanked
yeah. Oh yeah,
because
Salah
I
definitely
mean,
blanked for me at
yeah,
points.
I mean Son, I've clearly captained him 4 times and I've only got 34 points.
Yeah,
It's not a lot.
that's an average of
Um,
8.5. There you go.
yeah,
So,
but I know Son blanked in one of the weeks I did captain him,
yeah,
and I know
averages. Yeah, Son, I captained some 4 times as well, and that only averaged me 8 points. So,
yeah, so you got 2 less.
yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, it does mean that I did a little better with captains this year, but clearly, what one thing I did do this year is I played it safer.
There's a stat in a minute, probably in the next slide. Um,
Yeah,
that's really interesting on captains. Um, so it tells us the total amount of points we got from our captain. You got
yeah.
550, I got 491. But the interesting thing is the total from your vice captain,
All right.
um,
I'm not gonna
which,
like this, am I?
well, no, no. Well, actually, yours is okay. Let's see if I've got to read this. Yeah. Possible captain points if you always captained your vice. So you could have got 566 points from your vice captain. So that would have
Christ, so I could
been,
have got more.
yeah,
11
16
points
more.
more.
16?
16th.
Yeah, 550 you got from your actual captain.
Yeah.
Mine's worse. So my captain got me 491. My vice, if I'd always captained my vice, 570.
Oof.
Yep.
So an 8 point swing nearly.
Yeah. So maybe next year, what I need to do is pick my captain and then just swap them around.
I mean,
That's
it's a plausible idea.
that's kind of what that's telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's upsetting.
I did okay in terms of actual captain points percentage. I do 48%. It's not bad. You'd want it
Yeah,
to be just over 50
yeah, I got 44.64 from that. So
because it says if you always captain your highest scorer, which you're never going to do, let's be honest. But
no, yeah,
1100 points, it'd be nice
yeah,
to do that, but that kind of luck.
yeah. But yeah, that's hindsight, and yeah, if you could do that all the time, it'd be easy, wouldn't it? So
That'd be a breeze. You'd be in the FPL with about 10 weeks to spare.
yeah, yeah. uh, Sure. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the bottom stat tells you how many points you would have got if you always captain the high scorer. So you would have got 2,736, and I would have got 2,661.
That's a lot, innit?
Mm,
That's my whole total
yeah.
for the season. So captaincy, I wasn't great.
Yeah.
Which I'm not surprised because players that are cheaper, like Palmer was, you're less inclined to captain them because they're cheaper. It's just some sort of psychological thing. And then
Yeah.
especially if Palmer's up against, and when Palmer played Man United, I think it was, and he got like 3, 4 returns. Haaland had like a home fixture against someone,
Yeah.
and you sometimes do. I used to do it a lot more. I used to go against the grain, so like when I captained. The one week I captained Bow, and then the one week I didn't captain him.
Hmm.
But I don't do it as much anymore. I sort of bandwagon on the popular one and then try and make the points up somewhere else with a differential pick like Madison, which it hasn't
Yeah.
worked.
That's a tough one because, especially with Haaland, like Haaland last season, you didn't captain him and then
Mhm.
he hauled. Well, you're in trouble. Yeah.
But I didn't captain him. Remember, I didn't
Yeah.
captain him for the. I didn't even own him for the 2 weeks he got back-to-back hat tricks
Yeah. 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 So
because I
not
thought I could go without him
not
because I
great.
had Mo Salah.
Yeah.
and I got absolutely slapped about the face as many times as was humanly possible.
Yeah. You managed to get one week where you got 41 points or more from your captaincy. I didn't manage that this year.
That again was when
It's the Harlem one.
Haaland got 4 goals. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got 21 total. Or no, he must have got 23, I think, and he got 46, 42 or 46. He would have got.
yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
I think I captained De Bruyne
takes a
that
lot
week.
to get that. You have to get like four, at least four returns.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big one. I mean, we did all
Mm.
right. 25 to 40 points. You got 8. I got 7. Yeah, but yeah, our biggest ones 1 to 6 points. Yeah,
That's not good.
yeah. At least we didn't get
Yeah,
any 0 or less. So that's good. That's a positive.
that's lucky. Although
Yeah.
from what your thing says here, we should have because our vice captains did really well.
Well, yeah, they clearly, especially for
Yeah.
me, did a lot better than
So if
my
we got
actual captains.
if
So,
if we'd got a 0 pointer, as in didn't start, we would have got
hmm.
our vice captain. Unless obviously you had a captain that missed a penalty or something and got 0 or -1 for a booking, etc.
Well, the other season when it was the double for Watford and everyone captained what? Who was it? Who was the Watford player? He
Dennis.
he got sent off. The Dennis.
Yeah, you captain Dennis. I didn't.
Yeah.
I captain Joshua King and I got 4 points, 6 points.
Oh, it's better than -4. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, at least we didn't have to suffer any of that this year. But,
thankfully.
yeah.
And Wolves are not back up yet, so we don't have to worry about it.
All right. So there's a few graphics on here. So transfer and chip usage. So we talked about hits. Yeah, 48 for you, 56 for me. You made 46 transfers. I made 48. And then it also goes into how many auto subs were made. So 9 for you and 14 for me.
Ugh.
Yeah.
My also points were shite.
Yeah, mine wielded
The
30,
9 stars to
34 points, but you
15.
only got 15. Yeah.
That's bugger all. Which means I didn't have a lot of. Even though I had bench points per se, I didn't get a lot
No.
when they were subbed in. So I had a lot of bench points, just not on the weeks when I needed someone on the bench to come in.
Hmm.
So that's fun. That's like a double whammy of disappointment.
Yeah. See, I transfers by position. I seems like I changed my midfield the most with 21 changes. Yours is pretty. You changed most of your players in defence. 18 in defence.
It's because I kept picking shit defenders or cheap
Yeah.
ones that kept getting injured. Like Ben Mee came in, got suspended. Adogi got injured. I had Luke Shaw who got injured.
Hmm.
I had Trippier who got injured. And then I just was never happy because
No.
I wanted like a premium, but the only premium I picked that was great was Trippier. And then the rest of them were just, there was never really a time where I went, oh, Robertson. I had Robertson for 12 weeks because he was injured and Alexander Arnold was injured or just not great at times.
Hmm.
Man United defense was shite. Um, and yeah, I think I had Zinchenko in and out at least twice, 3 times.
That's not great.
And that was a no. Well, see, I started with Zinchenko over anyone else to begin with because I saw that as a good move because I thought, he's their only
Mm.
left back. And
Should have gone Ben
I,
White. That would have been the one.
yes, well, Ben White was more expensive by about 0.5 million, which put me off.
Yeah.
And again, at the beginning, Timber started the season. It was only injury, a freak injury to Timber
Not
that
sure even.
cost him
I
not
think he got injured in the Community
first
Shield.
game. Or maybe it was Community
So
Shield, but
I
again,
don't. I don't think he's played in the Premier League yet.
I'm sure it was the first. Well, regardless,
Or unless
he was
actually, I
there.
think he might have come on against Everton, Timber.
Yeah, he came on in the
Yeah,
last game. I know that.
so he
Um,
did finally get some minutes.
yeah, but it was just I should have. I didn't pick Gabriel because just before the season started, Gabriel, there were rumors
Oh yeah,
swirling around that
yeah,
he was going to go to Saudi Arabia, and he was benched because he was pouting
yeah,
because he couldn't go to Saudi.
yeah.
Um, and I think as well, everyone got a a leak that he was benched, so they went out and bought Saliba in instead. I think I was one of those ones that did that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I transferred Saliba out to roll with just Zinchenko, and that was a very bad move.
Mm. 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 Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not known for making great. If I usually focus on one position more than the other, it's because I've fannied it up completely, and I need to,
Hmm.
or I'm chasing points. So defense was clearly the most I was unhappy with.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never mind.
I still had Trippier during an 8-0, so and he got
Yeah,
18 points.
that's pretty good.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you definitely you did better. Well, you did better than me in most of the positions for points. You got
Hell yeah.
514 points from defenders.
Mostly Trip.
1,038 from midfielders, 543 from forwards, 123 for your goalkeepers. So
Oh, you beat me for goalkeepers, right?
I beat for goalkeepers, but everywhere else I lost. Only by 10 points in midfield though. So
Yeah, but you made more midfield transfers as well, so you were chasing points a lot.
yeah,
You know why that is, don't you? That's because I held Son for about
yeah, that's true.
17 game weeks.
Yeah,
No one else did.
yeah.
You know, everyone else was like, "Yeah, Son's going away for the Asian Games."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, I'll just hold him because I got too much money tied up in him." And I'd already sold Salah, who'd gone to AFCON, and I'd lost point 0.4 on him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'm not losing point 0.4 on Son as well, so
Hmm.
I held on to Son. And that's the only reason I could afford him, and no other people had to make like cuts elsewhere because I dealt the bastard for God knows how long. Which kind of worked out all right towards the end of the season. He weren't exactly free scoring at the end of the season, but he went up to like 10.1 million. But
Yeah.
most people just couldn't get there. So, but I wouldn't if I was put in that position again. I think I'd definitely sell him. I don't think I'd
Hmm.
hold on to a player for like 16 weeks that just caused me endless misery. Considering after that Chelsea game, Tottenham were bad for quite some time.
I would be interested to see where he fits in your team of the year. So,
Yeah,
but
don't tell me he's going to be my top scorer because
I can't remember now. Not really looked. We'll look at that. But we've talked about chip usage, but yeah, this graphic shows how good your chip usage was. So yeah, bench boost in 37, 142 points. Free hit in 34, 115.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Whereas yeah, my free hit 29, 16 points. That was my last chip as well. Yeah. My
Uh,
bench boost only got me 75 points as well.
To be fair though, the average that week was 12, and you got 16 for the free hit, so you did okay.
I did
You
better
beat
in
the
your
average.
I did better at triple captain, 91 I got that week. But I think we both triple
Mm,
captain the same, so that was just the rest of the team. Yeah, we both tripled
yeah,
25.
Haaland in the double,
Yeah.
and you got 15, 30, on that.
Yeah. Something that was a bit disappointing. It was fine,
Yeah,
but
I think he got one goal in the second game, and it took him to a total of 10 points over the two,
yeah.
which is still better than Haaland last day, who people triple captained,
Yeah, true. Yeah, good point.
and it was better than the other double Man City had in 37. I don't think he scored more than 10 in that one either.
Yeah,
Or
no.
maybe he did. But
I think my dad used a really good triple captain, didn't he? I think.
he got a hat trick in the single game week
Yeah. Oh, was that the? Oh
early on.
no. I was thinking because he knocked me out of the our mini league cup, but that was because he captained Palmer. And that was when Palmer got a hat trick.
Go Palmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably won't get any picks next year because there's no Pochettino there.
Yeah.
So it'll be a completely different role for him.
Well, you'd think after this season they'd build the team around him, but God knows. God knows what they're going to do. Don't know.
Different manager, different style, different ideals.
Yeah. Right. Some player analysis before we get into our team of the year. Got goalkeepers. So how many points you got from your keeper, how many bench points, and how many times you played the wrong keeper. So yeah,
A
123
lot.
points for you, 85 points for your bench keeper. So that's good. And 6 times you did it wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. Probably you have Areola.
It's fine.
Areola saved
Mine's
a penalty
worse.
against Everton.
Yeah, mine's worse. 137 points, 88 points. So, but 11 times I picked the wrong keeper.
You still scored more overall though, because you had Thingy, didn't you? You had Pickford when he went
Yeah,
on that run of 5 games, 5 clean sheets or whatever.
yeah.
Just after they got the points deduction.
Yeah, I think a lot of those probably come when I had Kaminsky and Neto because that didn't go well for me. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Double digit hauls in our team. 81 for you, 73 for me. Um, bench double digit hauls. 8 for both of us.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's upsetting, isn't it?
Well, 2 of them were in the last game.
Yeah.
Isaac and Dallo for me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you only just caught up then. Yeah, mine would have been in that blank with the Fulham players, and yeah, there was definitely a few others. Well, clearly, there's another
Yeah,
6 or 5, whatever. Don't know how many I got that week.
that's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Benching double digit.
And then the other graphic here goes back to where we looked at the where our points were distributed, but it shows stuff on our bench that we missed. So yeah, so yeah, two. What were we talking about? Uh, penalty saves. Yeah, you missed two. Two were on your bench. Penalty saves.
Yeah, Areola, that was one of them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Pickford was the other one.
probably.
During a free hit.
Yeah. I didn't miss any penalty saves, but I missed 2 red cards that were on my bench. So that was lucky.
That is
Yeah.
lucky.
But I also missed out on 19 clean sheets on my bench compared to your 14.
Yeah, I mean, some of those would be goalkeepers, some of those would be defenders as well. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like if a team gets the surprise clean sheet,
Yeah.
it's just you can't predict it, kind of thing.
No,
Like
that's a tough one.
Tottenham losing to Fulham 3-0. That would have been a surprise clean sheet for a lot of people if they had any Fulham defenders at that game week.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
choice of FPL.
Yeah. Right. Let's get into our team of the year then. Okay, so team of the year by points for both of us. Do you want me to run through yours?
Run through it.
So
Tell
you've
me my
got
scores as well.
Areola 33,
Christ, that's
Trippier
bad.
72, Gabriel 48, Zinchenko 48,
Come on.
Salah 242, Palmer 201, Son 179, Saka 158, Haaland 329, Solanke 107, and Watkins 85.
Hell yeah.
And then you had a bench of Dubravka with 27, Odegaard with 51, Estepinian with 36, and Gusto with 31.
I mean, my goalkeepers are bad. It's 60 points total from just 2.
Yeah, I mean,
And he got
compared to mine,
120
I got
points.
50 from Pickford.
Yeah.
So
So you nearly got what I got from 2.
yeah, and you're like this. So I've obviously put your best player there, Haaland, 329,
Hell yeah.
of which you captained him 15 times. But when it worked out what your worst player was, but I didn't just work out. Well, I didn't work out. It was on the stats thing. This was from FPL
Yeah.
optimized. But I didn't want to pick the very bottom one because your very bottom player was Tarkowski, but you'd only played him once.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it based on how many games a player has to play to get a Premier League medal, which is 5. So I went, if you played him 5 or more times. So your worst player based on that was Matty Cash,
Yeah, that doesn't
who,
surprise
who
me.
got you 9 points for, I think it was 5 appearances he made for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think everyone said, "Oh, you should get an Aston Villa defender in," because they had a good run of fixtures, and before that, Pau Torres and that had been keeping clean sheets
Mm-hmm.
and getting lots of points. And I was like, "Okay, Matty Cash is safe as houses," and then he wasn't,
Hmm.
and then they kept conceding,
Yeah.
and then I think I got so frustrated with him, I switched him out and went and got Moreno later down the line, which was, I mean, that wasn't much better. I got a couple points from Moreno, but
Yeah.
still frustrating nonetheless.
Yeah, I think I might have had Cash at one point. And it didn't work out well.
He was the most frustrating because I think I got 0 points like twice with him, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And that was him playing 90 minutes. It wasn't like him playing 51 minutes. He played the full 90.
Yeah.
And then people, you check like stats for him after the game, and it'd be like, oh yeah, he had 9 touches in the box, and you're like, great, got fuck all though, didn't it?
Hmm.
You know what am I supposed to do with 9 touches in the box? There's no bonus points on FPL for that.
No, unfortunately not. So yeah.
Yeah,
Feels a bit
joys
like
of Matty
Dallo
Cash.
for me the last few weeks, apart from the obviously 38. But yeah.
There you go. 38 Dallas scored more than what I got on Matty Cash from what you just said. What's that? 5 games?
Yeah. Well, Dallo did make it into my best team, just about slipped in. So
Up the Diogo, eh?
yeah. So yeah, I've run through mine. Pickford in goal, 50 points. Gabriel 93, Vardiol 35, and I only had Vardiol for the last few weeks. So this shows how bad my defence was. Zabania 33, Salah 255, Palmer 200, Foden 176, Saka 163, and Son 91. And then Haaland 280, Watkins 156. And then my bench was Ariola 37, Solanke 87, Walker 33, and Dallo 31. And you like this, and I liked it. I worked out my worst player, and it was not a surprise to me to find out it was Nicola Jackson, who got me 12 points.
Up the Jackson.
Yeah.
Go on, son.
And I was glad that I worked that out from stats because he probably would have been one of my worst players if I just had to decide it out of the air. So at least I've backed it
Which is
up.
funny because he got like 30 goal returns this year.
Yeah, not when I bloody had him because I had him at the
Well, I
start
had
of the
him.
year.
I had him at the start as well, and that was incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, I got him later down the line as well. The one reason that I think I had more faith in him than most people was because I carried him pretty much almost all the way through in draft league.
Mm,
I think I dropped him at a certain point in draft league early
yeah.
for about 2 weeks, and then someone else picked him up and dropped him after a week as well because he got suspended. Um, but yeah, he was good in draft league, and it's like it gave me a confidence to go. I'll get him. I'll see where he can take me, kind of thing. And even though I did actually call him the London Darwin,
hmm
which thankfully he did say, slap me across the face and say, "Yeah, I'm a bit better than that." So I was like, "Oh, nice one, cheers, lad."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, he wasn't good for me when I had him.
no.
So yeah.
Although you did a much better than I did with defend in one defender. You had Gabriel because you
Gabriel.
had him a
Yeah.
whole season.
Yeah.
I got half that total, and Gabriel still made my top defender list.
Yeah.
That's how bad I was for defenders. And Trippier, I only had Trippier for about 6 weeks. He got 18 points in one game.
hmm
He got 7 in another, 10 in another, and that was enough to literally carry me all the way.
Yeah.
You know, uh, I'd wanted to get him back, but I just didn't bother because I was like, oh, there's no point at this stage.
No. No.
Um,
I'm a bit surprised Richarlison didn't make my team, but yeah, probably he
that
had a
midfield's strong, right?
yeah, he's
Three
strong
on triple
midfield.
figures.
Yeah.
I mean, all my midfielders made over 150,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is ridiculous. Which means I also didn't play 3-5-2 as much this year because my fifth best midfielder was Odegaard on 51.
I was going to ask you about the formation because yeah, I think I preferred 3-5-2 most of the year, but I thought that was the formation you preferred. But that's not
I do
really
prefer 3-5-2. He didn't transfix that way.
didn't yeah
It's because I kept Solanke for long periods this season, and then I had Haaland for a fair amount. But Watkins, I had to relent at some point and get Watkins in. Again, Watkins, I got half the points that you got from him.
yeah yeah
Um, and so I only had him about a third of the time you did, and that cost me really hard because I kept going, oh, I can go without him, it'd be fine.
hmm
And he'd go and get a goal, all three bonus get like 9 points, and I'm like, should have got him. Should have got him. That's 9 points that killed me.
yeah
So yeah, there are some good decisions in there. There's some bad decisions definitely in my team. It's quite funny seeing that Estepinian's there, and a lot of that came from the first 2 game weeks.
yeah yeah.
Gusto's came from like the first 4 or 5 because
I'm
I think he
surprised
came
he's
on
not in mine. He's probably just out of mine because of Dallo, I reckon.
quite possibly.
Yeah, I
Although
don't.
you got Carl Walker on your bench for 33, so maybe you didn't have
Yeah.
Estepinian as long as I did. Maybe you made a change earlier on.
I think I've got it. I've got it loaded up here actually, so I'll be able to see. Ah, see, Richarlison was close for my team. He
Yeah,
was very close. He probably come just under Son, yeah, 51 points. Richarlison.
it's not bad.
Oh, actually, no. Luca Dina was my outside defender. That's bad.
You had him
29,
early on.
29 points.
Ugh.
And then Porro, Share. Oh, Estepinian, 25 points he got for me. There we
Yeah,
go.
see, I bought Estepinian in again later on as well, though, didn't I? I think I got one clean sheet out of him if I was lucky, or maybe I got something. Or maybe I just got
Yeah.
2 points for starting him every week like a goon.
Oh, I benched Estepinian a couple of times, so that's probably where I missed out on points as well.
Yeah. Surprised I didn't
Yeah.
get more through Adogi, but I benched him during his major returns.
I had Udogi as well, but yeah, I can't see him on the list. Oh, I've seen him on your
No,
list. 24 points he got for you.
it's not a lot. He got 12 points in game week 3, and I benched him for that.
He got 21 points for me. Yeah.
It's not great, is it?
Mm.
For a Tottenham defender over a season.
No, but it felt like he did a lot better. But yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Just pleasing to watch.
Oh,
That's all
actually, I
that is.
benched Udogi a lot by the looks of it. I benched him 7 times, so that probably didn't help.
That probably did not know.
How many times? You probably didn't bench him. Oh, no, you benched him 6 times. There you go.
because he didn't trust the Tottenham defence, did I? After that Chelsea game, my confidence was shot.
The interesting one is obviously one that would be really good. Alexander Arnold, for you, only got 22 points.
I think I only had him for like 3 game weeks, 4 game weeks tops,
Yeah.
which is a
Four,
rare
yeah,
for me.
4 times in your lineup.
That's not a lot. Bearing in mind, I'm a man who sings his praises,
I had him 6
and
times
bearing
and
in
I
mind,
benched him once and he got me 19 points.
there you go.
Yeah.
He just didn't get going because
No.
Liverpool lost Robertson, and they just never seemed likely keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah.
I think I had Van Dijk longer than I ever had Alexander Arnold.
And obviously they were probably setting up Darwin, who was just missing all the time. So
Yep, there's that. And then obviously when he did get injured, Bradley came in, who I also did not seize on.
yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of gave up the Liverpool defence. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't think I can keep going through the disappointment every week.
No, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens to their defence. You know, new manager coming in.
Yeah.
A lot of them are aging,
Mm-hmm.
so they're going to need to bring new guys in. Or is Bradley going to run Alexander Arnold off a starting spot? Apparently, Real Madrid are interested in Alexander Arnold as well.
Mm.
It'd be quite nice this season again to have someone that could shake up the shake up the positions, because before you could sometimes go Kane instead of Haaland, so you had an alternative. This season there was no one as an alternative in that bracket to stretch people's finances. So if you wanted Watkins, you just got Watkins. It was easy enough to get him. You know, Palmer
Yeah.
was easy enough to get. Gordon was easy enough to get. I mean, Havertz was easy enough to get after a bad start.
This is going to be the tricky thing, obviously. It's always tricky. Next year, Palmer's going to be a lot more money.
I'd expect
Watkins
him
will
to
be
be
a
at
lot
least
more
8.
money. Yeah.
Watkins should be at least 10, 10, 5.
Yeah.
But then where do you go with Saka? Do you make Saka 11? He should be more than Son.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say so.
And then all the Arsenal defenders go up to either 5, 5 or 6 to make that more interesting and more challenging. You know, so then you're looking for value again elsewhere and seeing what teams are potentially going to have a good start. But
You'll like who? So obviously, my worst player, like I said, I based it on 5 performances. But my worst
yes,
player, you'll like this one, Region.
yeah, I told you can't defend.
Because I played him once, and he got
Got a
minus
-3.
3. So yeah,
I told you he cannot defend.
no, yeah. But I
He can
didn't.
foul with the best of them.
I didn't get him for defending. I got him for attacking, and then he got himself sent off.
Yeah, because he can't defend.
Yeah, annoying.
Uh, I had him in draft. He's great for assists, but
Yeah,
I don't remember him getting many clean sheets. That's for sure.
I got him for challenge, I think. And
Yeah,
he did well for me in that. But yeah, yeah,
it's a lot of it's just a lot of gambling with him. You know, I know that was I think his first red card in England.
yeah,
So
probably.
what a time to get it
Oh yeah.
against Burnley as well, where I mean, and it kind of screwed everyone over because I
Mm.
had Tony in that game.
Was it a double that week as well?
Maybe, or if
Yeah,
it weren't a double, it was when you free hit him in 29.
that was it. It's a free hit. Yeah,
Yeah, so it screwed everyone because
yeah,
everyone free hit him in,
yeah.
and that's why everyone's teams did so bad because they lost. essentially a quarter of their scores on a bloke getting a red card with a -3.
Yeah. So he
So
deserves an honourable mention as my worst player.
yeah, and that screwed over everyone like me who didn't free hit, but went Tony, going, oh well, Tony against a bad Burnley defense, that would be fantastic, and nothing came to fruition. I think they lost 2-0, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, your worst player who played one game at least. I said Tarkowski, but he didn't actually ever play for you.
No, he's on the
He
bench,
was on
right?
the bench, but yours is Fabian Schär.
1 point he got when
One point.
I
Yeah.
yeah, so I wild card him in, he got 1 point and then transferred him out.
Yeah.
So that was recent as well. That's game week 35.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So
All right. Okay. So a different way of looking at team of the year is by how much it gained you in rank, I think. That's how it works.
yeah, so every time you got green arrow, you mean?
I guess so. Yeah. So I'll run through your team for this. So with this, you've got
Oh, you mean like sorry, yeah, no, differentials.
yeah,
So
like
if
differentials.
yeah,
Yeah.
so if Haaland was a differential 1 week because he weren't as highly owned, he gained you like 20,000 in ranks, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, sorry, run through them and the points or whatever is the
Uh,
rank gain.
rank gain. Yeah. So you've got Neto, who got you
Go on now, son.
12.6.
Hell yeah.
Zinchenko 45.8, Trippier 42.7, Gusto 27.4, Ben Mee 24,
Yeah.
Odegaard 46.6, Salah 44.2, Son 33, Madison 25, Mitoma 23.7, and Solanke 35.9.
4-5-1.
And then your bench, Raya 11.9, Alvarez 22.4, Moreno 22.2, and Watkins 18.2.
See, no one wants Moreno, so that's why
Yeah,
he was a pick and a half.
yeah. And so your best player out
Ben
of that
Mee,
was Odegaard. And I
go
worked
on.
out your worst player. And again, it was Cash. Because he got you
Yeah,
minus
sounds
zero
great.
point 0.3.
Hell yeah, because I took a hit to get that bitch in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I took a hit to get him in, and he just didn't score well ever.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Matty Cash for you.
Yeah.
But Moreno offset that,
Yeah.
thankfully, just
Yeah.
about.
It's funny
Um,
when you look at this because obviously you were complaining a bit about Moreno. Obviously, didn't get you many points, but was a
well,
differential.
Moreno,
So,
yeah, that's the problem though.
so it
It's
did
the
have a positive
differentials.
impact.
If they have a positive impact at some points, it keeps you up with people. It's great. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing with Moreno is like the games he should have got mega hauls. Like when they played Sheffield United and they ended up drawing 2-2. That was absolutely infuriating because he got nothing from that game, Moreno, and he got
Yeah.
hooked early for Lucadina.
Yeah.
It's like, just someone hit me with a shovel. And so, yeah, I had a lot of times like that because I was going for differential defenders. Like Trippier was a differential defender. Zinchenko, that's clearly one of the highest
Mm-hmm.
scoring for differentials because no bastard owned him because they wouldn't because as you keep saying he weren't very good at defending. But then I'd have him
Yeah.
and he'd just scrape through getting a clean sheet with Arsenal because he would give the ball away on the halfway line or whatever. But he'd get 3 bonus points because he made a shitload of passes. So
Yeah. He's second for you, Zinchenko.
yeah,
So,
that's how good he can be.
yeah.
But if I'd had, the thing is, if I'd had double Arsenal defense when I had Zinchenko, it would have been a lot. I would have scored a lot higher. My final league position would have been way, way better.
Yeah.
If I'd had kept Saliba and just run double Arsenal defense, would have done a great job. But
Yeah. Yeah.
that's my mistake.
Yeah.
And then Odegaard, I just wanted Odegaard over Saka, I think, at one point, because I think Saka had an injury flag. And I I just had a thing for Odegaard. I thought he was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he was great, like in the free hit when he got 20 points, he was outstanding. But then there was one week where he got 10 points, and I was like, oh, that is beautiful, 10 points. And then the guy I bought Odegaard instead of Foden, and Foden went and got a hat trick. So 10 points meant fuck all in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to like 22 points. And you're like, ah, oh, yeah, I look like a fool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's rough. You've got to commit to your differentials and have
Mm.
faith. And I guess what this thing does show is I definitely do go for slightly more differentials than you that are a bit more crazier. But your Foden one is so
Maybe.
good. He was differential.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so my team, Pickford, 43.1. That's probably because I kept him where
You
everyone
kept him
sold
when I
him.
wild card him out.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he was doing so bad, and I was gonna
yeah.
sell him. I really wanted to, and I think I had to deal with some other things in my team, so I stuck with him, and then he started coming good. So it was
It's because they got
lucky.
their points deduction, wasn't it? If I'd
Yeah,
known that that points deduction was coming
yeah,
and that would have given them a massive chip on their shoulder,
yeah,
I would never have got rid of him.
yeah. I wish I didn't get rid of him at all now, but oh well.
No.
He was just behind Raya for Golden Glove as well, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stupid, right?
yeah, it's
Everton's
mad.
defense in the end was really, really good. Like
Yeah,
if you'd run with Pickford all season and just kept the faith, you would have done okay. You would have
yeah,
done a lot better than I got total points for a goalkeeper. If you'd run with Branthwaite all season, he was only 4 million.
yeah.
He was ridiculously good, Branthwaite, and he's so cheap that not a lot of people spoke about it because they're just too focused on other things elsewhere.
It does make me think for next year that maybe I just pick a goalie and set and forget, unless he gets injured. But
So next season, if he's 4.5, it will probably be for me Leno.
mm,
Because I said to you at the start of last season that I wanted Leno, and then I chicken shitted out of it and went and got Pickford because it seemed like that content creators and everyone was saying Pickford because they got great fixtures. And I think they had Sheffield United, Luton, and whatnot in this opening like four.
yeah,
So my head was drawn to that.
yeah,
But if I'd just gone Leno all season, he would have had a couple of shockers, but he would have way outscored what I got total.
yeah. I mean, going back to transfers, we didn't change our keepers that much, to be fair.
No, we were more sensible this year.
I think it noted that you made 2 transfers on goalies and I made 1. Obviously, I wild carded, so it doesn't count that. But
You don't count that. But
yeah,
Dubravka was one of my goalkeeper transfers. I know that for a fact.
yeah. I
And
think
then the other one might have been Areola.
my only 1 transfer was recent, and that was because Neto got dropped, so I bought in Vicario because Tottenham had all
Yeah.
the doubles. Yeah.
All the doubles,
All the
which he got
doubles,
bugger all from.
which he did not do well in. So yeah.
Oh.
um, but yeah, the rest of my team: Walker 29.7, Dallo 29.6, Luca Dean 28.7, Zabania 23.6, Foden, who was my best pick, 87.3, Salah 57.1, Richarlison 32.2. De Bruyne 25.6, Bowen 24.5, and Watkins 46.2. And then my bench was Neto with 23.1, Fabian Schär 23, Solanke 20, and Isak 11.8. Oh, and this is a real interesting thing with mine. My worst player, based on relative gain, Haaland. Minus
Because you can catch him a lot, right?
76.2. And I think, yeah, I reckon that's because I missed out on those, especially that recent one, the massive captaincy.
Mm.
So even though I had him, I didn't really gain anything. Obviously, it was negative, the gain on him.
Yeah, and the player you picked blanked as well, which
Yeah,
doesn't help. And of course, he goes and gets like 40 odd points.
yeah,
So yeah, and if more, especially like if he's got an EO that week, like 200% nearly.
Mm-hmm.
Means everyone at your rank's captaining him. You're like, oh no, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And then it hurts.
Clearly it did massively.
Yeah.
To the point that
Which now
he's
you
my
know it
worst.
feels when I didn't have him last season
Yeah.
for the double hat tricks, because that was so painful. I blew my whole season up within the first 3 weeks by just not owning Haaland, which
Yeah.
is sad to say.
And in this, he was my worst. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't matter
it's
about
because
games or
he
anything.
done poor. He done poor for a good couple of weeks. He got injured, and he was poor again when he came back. So people started to move off of him, rightly so,
Yeah.
because he'd been out of form. And then I think he come on as a sub against Nottingham Forest, I want to say, and he got one.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked good to the eye test. But if you went based on stats, he wasn't good.
Yeah.
So people persisted without him or picked other captains of people like Palmer that were in form. And I was like, there's no way I'm going without Han captain at home to Wolves. Wolves that look really bad, like they're on holiday. And
See
I wasn't wrong.
your worst. I put Cash based on the 5 game rule, but
Yeah,
actually your worst was, if it
Salah,
loads
right?
up, Isaac
He said, it's because I
minus two
benched him
point
so bloody
three,
much.
and Petrovic
Yeah,
above that minus 0.4.
yeah, because I benched him as well.
Yeah.
And that's right near the end of the season. So that's how hard that hit.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also I played my wild card in 35. If a couple of the boys I know captained these that week because he got 13, and that was Tottenham and Chelsea's double. So I captained Son because of course I did,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I would have just been better captaining Isaac for 26. You know. So
Uh,
the joys of FPL
yeah.
and the disappointment of it all.
Yeah. Right. So moving on, got some
Moving on.
rank analysis.
Analysis, eh?
Yeah.
Tell me how bad my rank was. I already know I didn't move much.
So your highest game week score was 142. Your lowest game week score was 16, which we knew, which was actually 12, wasn't it? Because you
Yeah,
took a
16
minus.
minus 4.
Yeah.
The only like I said, I only played like 8 players, so that's the only other redeeming quality about that is it weren't 12 points and I had a full 11 out or anything like that.
Yeah. True.
And everyone else around me, like you, played a full 11 on a free hit and had um Region in their lineup, so that's the only thing that saved my skin that week. If Region hadn't got sent off, that would have been bad because you would have got that would have been like a 5 point swing,
Yeah.
and 5 points at our rank at that time was significant. And then if you hadn't got sent off, there's a good chance they probably would have kept a clean sheet because they were doing really well, you know. And then that 5 point swing turned into 15 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd got 30 points that week and I'd got 12, yeah, that would have been horrible.
Well, that was my lowest game week score as well, just 16. So
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't almost everyone's. I'm sure if
yeah,
Gaz had been partaking in this and you checked his, I'm sure his would have been. I
the
think he
same.
only got like 19 points or something like. Because I know he was sending lots of expletives in our chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So your current rank, well, your finishing rank 184k. Your highest rank for the season was 175k.
that was a week before.
Yeah, lowest rank was 1.27 million,
That was after game week 1,
possibly.
game week 2.
Don't know.
Yeah, it would have been game week 1, I think, because I finished. I was 1.2, something like that. Got 77 points, and the average was 64.
Yeah.
That was when we realised, this season's going to be a lot more difficult.
Your highest game week rank was 131k.
Hell yeah.
Lowest was 8.6 million.
That'll be the 12-point week.
uh, The rest is just averages and medians. See, I actually did alright with this. So you beat me on the highest. I got 106 was my highest score. Um, Obviously you beat me overall because my rank was 583k, but my highest rank, which is just shows how bad the end of my season went. My highest rank was 35k.
That is lovely.
My lowest was 3.16, which again was probably early on, probably like game week one.
Yeah, I mean, game week ones normally sets the trend.
Yeah. So, um, game week as well. Highest game week rank 15k. I did well there.
Yeah,
Don't
so
know what week that was, but
yours were a lot more fluctuating than mine.
yeah.
That's
My
possibly
lowest
one of
game
the
week
reasons.
rank was 9.6 million, so that was probably fairly recent.
Yes,
Yeah. But yeah.
qualified for the cup this year. That would count. I think our worst ranks last year was that qualifying for cup week because we all finished really badly.
I'm pretty sure there was a couple of cups I didn't qualify for, but yeah.
Yeah, but the FPL ones, you at least qualify, even if you
Yeah.
did the first week and went out.
Yeah. True.
The joys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the overall ones, yeah. Yeah, I was definitely high enough for that. So yeah. In terms of green arrows and stuff like that, so you had 23 green, I had 20, 14 red for you, 17 for me. We had 0 greys. You had a green streak of 5, I had a green streak of 7. You had a red streak of 3, and I had a red streak of 6. Which is
Fantastic.
probably from about 31 to 37, I think.
That's because you get making silly decisions once you got in your own head.
It was that double that I'd set up for, planned in. I had my 3 Liverpool players and stuff like that, and then obviously Liverpool were rubbish, and it just all went wrong. And then from there, it just the wheels had come off then. So
Yeah, I mean Liverpool. That's when Liverpool's title challenge ended as well,
yeah,
and but they were really bad, and it was incredibly
yeah.
frustrating to.
Oh yeah, but I'd planned ahead of that. I got those players in. I thought, yep, double Liverpool best fixtures. This is a banker, and then yeah, it was awful. I think that was
It
when
was.
Salah got benched, and yeah,
They had
Darwin
an
was
argument as well
Darwin, and
the following week. Yeah, Darwin was poor. They didn't keep any clean sheets. So if you had Alexander Arnold, I think I had Van Dijk for it. And he got 2 points, 3 points tops.
yeah,
It was embarrassing.
yeah,
Yeah, they lost to Everton 2-0, wasn't it? And
hmm
they drew the first game 1-0, something like that. I think it was McAllister who was like the best scoring player that week with like 12 points, something like that, 12, 15 points.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
that was not fun.
No, no. Uh,
Yeah, you
right.
weren't the only one whose wheels came to pieces at that time.
Yeah. I've got another
Was it?
chart up here, but I don't quite know. I can't quite remember what it tells us.
Like it's got data on it. I like
Yeah.
it. I don't know what it means.
Oh, actually, no. I think this is interesting because it shows you. But I think based on your team, it looks at what predicted score would be, and then what your actual score was, like realized score.
Okay.
But it's quite an interesting chart, and I don't know if that actually makes sense because towards the end of the season, you're like way below the predicted, like for your actual score. But obviously, you did really well towards the end of the season, so your chart doesn't
That's
quite add up to what I think it's
um
telling us.
predicted, realized. Uh maybe you're looking at that the wrong way round
Mm,
because I've called it up. So maybe that's I don't know.
oh yeah, I don't know. See, my
I,
chart makes more sense because I my good run was like between yeah, like around about 18 to 27, 29. So I'm like above the predicted. And then obviously
Yeah.
where I dropped off towards the end, you can see like there's a massive drop off where I predicted what I actually got. So
Although, yeah, that again,
I mean, what it
38.
could actually mean is, so yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it
Ah,
means your predicted score it was actually supposed to be a lot better than it actually was. So even though you did really
possibly.
well, it actually predicted you'd do a lot better.
It's kind of bad. I I hope not,
Yeah,
because yeah, I thought I did all right for the last 5 game weeks. Have to figure that one out, I guess.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's
It's
move
a
on
lovely
from that one.
graph nonetheless.
It looks nice though, doesn't it? Yeah, I do love a graph.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll put it in there. So, but
Uh,
yeah, to finish off, historical season ranks. So I thought you might want to look at that. You probably already know yours anyway, but
yeah, well, yeah, mine's COVID, right? 2021.
yep, 57k you got best rank.
I was absolutely unreal in that season because I had I had Rashford and I had Martial, and I run with
Yeah,
double Man United
that was a year that really upset me.
because you all had
You were talking about
Fernandez, who was great.
people making you angry, and that makes you play better. I think that was the season for me that improved me because I was so
Yeah,
annoyed with you having Martial and him absolutely smashing it. That
it's because he was great under Solskjaer. It wasn't anything to it. It's just Solskjaer was a of all the managers that Martial's had,
hmm,
Solskjaer seems to be the one that grounded him
yeah,
and made him play like a superstar.
yeah,
And not just him. I mean, Rashford. That was
hmm,
Fernandez's still best season
yeah,
ever. I
yeah,
mean, Mason Greenwood was an option then as well. You know, um, just everything that Solskjaer had in the attacking front 4 5 was really really good. Um, I can't remember who else we supplemented around. I'm sure it would have been Salah,
yeah.
and it would have been a couple of Spurs players,
Kane
maybe, because
probably,
Spurs did. Um, and I can't remember who else was up there. That and maybe Arsenal wasn't a factor in 2021.
probably not.
Don't think they were. I think that was Arteta's first season, right? He finished eighth or
Maybe
ninth.
Aubameyang, maybe.
Yeah, but none of us picked him because he was too inconsistent.
Hmm. I mean, when Aubameyang was good, he was
Chelsea,
pretty much scoring every week. He was.
Chelsea would have been Chelsea defense probably. Was that the season when I free hitted and
Oh
I
yeah,
put
probably.
triple Chelsea defense against Norwich?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what am I? Oh, that's the same season when I captained Antonio, right? And he got 4 against Norwich.
yeah. That was thanks to me though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because I think you were going to transfer, and I said, "Oh no, you look really good."
Yeah, I asked you because I'd missed the games that
Yeah,
weekend. He said, "Oh, you look really good. I'd keep him." I
yeah,
kept him, and then I captained him.
yeah. So you're welcome.
I know.
Yeah. Well, my best came the
50,
year after, 76k in
yeah,
21-22.
it's vast improvements. We used to finish in like the top 500,000, so it's a fact that we're getting.
Yeah, well, our worst season rank, so 2010-11 for you, about 2 million. And my worst was 2018-19, which was 3.5 million. I
Although
think that was the year that I gave up towards the end, and then I changed my
you were
entire
bringing
team.
Old Arsenal players in,
Older
right?
Arsenal players, yeah.
Old Arsenal youth players. So you had like Gibbs in there and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and the links got very tentative at some point.
Yeah, it was struggle with some of them.
Although,
Yeah,
admittedly, finishing 2 million in 2010 is the same as finishing 3.5 million 8 years later because they
yeah,
won as many players.
true.
And secondly, um, I was traveling the United States at that point, so I think I would do my team one week every 4.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I had maybe 10, 11, 10, 11. Oh, that would have been when Spurs were in the Champions League as well. Yeah, no, I didn't. I wasn't really that focused. I couldn't tell you who I had in my team, but it would have been. I would have dropped off and not played it. Because if I'd taken it seriously, I would have had Van der Vaart every week.
Mm,
Because that was the season he was absolutely unstoppable.
yeah.
But I didn't because
I mean, yeah, back then when I was playing, it was probably I was the kind of player that would pick my team, forget about it for weeks, then go, oh, I better do my team. So yeah.
yeah. Well, I've been playing since 2005, so
Mm, yeah.
next year's 20 years.
Mm. Oh, big anniversary.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know, right? They're not going to do anything for me. Goddamn, I feel. And it makes it even more sobering reading when top 100k finishes. I've got one in 20 years. That needs to improve quite quickly.
I know. I've got one as well. So
I know. And
yeah.
you've played nowhere near as many.
No.
You've even taken a couple of years out here and there with your your yearly histories. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
four 250k finishes per year and three for me, which is
yeah.
all of those for me probably in the last few years. So
Same for me.
yeah.
Like except for last year. Last year was shy, but
I mean, I guess the
um,
stat on there to look at for us is our average for the last three seasons, and it's
yeah,
326k for you and 397k for me.
which is vastly better.
Oh god, yeah,
Compare and I mean that's 2/3 better than your previous six.
yeah,
Mine's about 40%. Yours is like 120%.
yeah. Oh yeah, I've definitely improved massively.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Whereas I've got better to a certain extent, but I've had a lot more going on in my life in the last 8.
yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah.
I mean, again, apparently I'm very good during COVID. Very
Oh
good
yeah,
during COVID, and very good when irritated.
yeah, yeah.
I think it's because as well with COVID, you could hear the players talking to each other and communicating. Being as I played football and whatnot, I understood it more and it made more sense. But you don't get that kind of access when you're watching with a crowd, which is good as well because I love a crowd and the noise.
Mm-hmm.
But you could just tell which players were being passed to and which ones weren't, or which ones weren't trusted. So I didn't pick those players during COVID. Even if the stats said pick those players, I was just like, nah. I watched the game and no one was even bloody calling his name to receive a pass. So I'll skip that guy.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Right.
Not bad. I mean, hopefully we can improve our averages again.
Yep. Well, that's the goal, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all the stats. So the very
So all
last
the
thing
stats.
is to look at our league predictions, which we touched upon, and like I said, didn't go very well. You managed to get two right. I mean, Gaz got just the one right. So
Yeah. So Gaz got none of the 19 above Sheffield United, right?
nope,
And you didn't get the top 12, right?
nope. I got Fulham right at 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was the best. I got the one out of the top 10. I got
yeah.
7th.
Got Newcastle and
And I got
Sheffield
Sheffield
United.
United.
Yeah.
Yes! I think that means I've won it like 3, 4 times now.
I won last year.
Yeah.
I can confirm that. But yeah, I don't know about
You're supposed to
historical. I
be
haven't.
supposed to be keeping records. Jesus. You're supposed to have
Yeah.
like a little spreadsheet that says how many we've won. I
Well,
know Gaz hasn't won it. So
I
I think it must be you are on 1 and I'm on 3 then.
I kind of have now, but yeah. Let's see. I think I did here. League
Yeah. Rusty.
predictions. Yeah. Last year I got three right. You got two. So you're
Yeah.
consistent. Oh, Gaz is consistent as well.
Yeah.
He only got one right last year. uh,
I'm sure there was one season I got like 5 or 6 and I've romped.
yeah. Yeah, there was. Yeah. Um. But yeah, where were we? Any close with some? I mean, my top four was really bad. Uh, obviously Man City and Arsenal in there, but I had Chelsea top for some crazy reason and Man U fourth.
You're a bit of a maverick, ain't you? You're like, come on, guys.
I just thought I thought Chelsea would do that typical Chelsea thing where even though they were quite bad last season, it was all going to come together. Obviously, they had the new manager, all those players. I thought, yeah, they're going to come good.
Well, they lost Nkunku early on,
Mm.
so that complete because Nkunku and Jackson together during the friendlies, they were quite electric to watch. Um, so losing one was massive,
Yeah.
and then it put so much pressure on Jackson to be good, and then they were trying to, as much as Pochettino was doing his best, he still had to get through like 40. I think they was it 55 players they had at the start,
Mm.
and he was whittling them down over the summer. So yeah, and it's a shame because they would probably be my go-to team next season. But now
Yeah.
they've sacked him, and
Mm.
they're going to bring in another manager who's possibly got a different philosophy. It means everyone
Yeah.
starts from scratch again, and is Palmer going to be good? Probably not. Maybe Sterling will be the pick next season.
Maybe.
Maybe Nkunku will get a price drop because he was out all season. Maybe they'll drop him to 6 million, make him a midfielder, and then that's it. He's the must-own midfielder.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, we all
yeah.
predicted Chelsea in the top four. Gaz had him
Well,
third, you had him fourth.
I thought they'd finish fourth because we did the predictions in the middle of the summer. So I think I just watched Chelsea play in America, and they
Hmm.
had a couple of games out there, and they would look great, like I said. And then they lost Nkunku in like the second or last game, maybe last game,
Yeah.
and then that was it. That they weren't really the same. They were playing catch up. And it's just lucky, really, that they went and got Cole Palmer because if they hadn't, it would have been. It could have been a hell of a lot worse for them.
Yeah. Yeah, oh God, yeah.
You
The
know,
way, yeah. he
he basically come in and
single-handedly
saved.
saved them. Yeah.
Yeah, he saved their season, and he became basically a main man for them,
Yeah.
and it made people basically say, "Oh yeah, well, Man City got regret getting rid of him now."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a weird season.
I mean, unsurprisingly,
Just
none of us had Villa in our top four.
no,
I was the closest though. I had him seventh. You and Gaz had him eighth.
it's because I just didn't know if they had the depth to do it.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember who they bought in over the summer. They bought a couple. Was Tielemans this summer or was he last summer?
This summer, yeah.
This summer, yeah, because Leicester went down. So they made a couple of additions and then they had a few injuries. So I wasn't entirely sure if they were going to be fine or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just another one of those that I was. They had a solid season and they managed to cope quite well um with the rigors of European football as well, which would do them well next season.
Mm.
Because the Champions League won't be as many games as the Conference League was.
Yeah.
Conference League, yeah, the conference. So that should,
Yeah, we were all fairly close to Tottenham.
yeah, I didn't have much hope for Spurs,
Sixth.
but I had more hope than you lot, I think.
No, I had him sixth as well. Gaz had him
Yeah,
seventh.
they'd lost to Sheffield United, they would have finished sixth.
Yeah. Damn. That would have been
So
another point for me. That would have been good.
mhm.
Oh well. Yeah. Trying to see if there's any others that are close. Oh, Gaz was close with Brighton. He had them 10th. They came 11th.
Brian fell off a cliff. Basically, they got injuries, and then Deserby, as much as they put it, wouldn't stop whining.
Yeah.
Ian Wright was like, yeah, he had to go, which I was surprised he was going to be the one who called him out. But
Yeah. I think the one you mentioned earlier, Wolves, we all had Wolves for relegation. I think
yeah, it was
we were
because
waiting for that.
Lopetegui went. Lopetegui went probably around about the time we did these.
Hmm.
maybe, maybe a week after he'd been let go, and
Yeah.
so we were all. I was certain that was it. They were done. They let him go. They'd lost Nunez because Nunez had down tools because he wanted to move to Man City. They didn't have any money, and it just didn't look like they were going to have any players. So I was like, yeah, that's it. That's them done, really, I think. And then they went and got Gary O'Neill, who'd just been recently sacked by Bournemouth, who'd done exactly the same job at Bournemouth. And he's gone and done it again. So as man managers go, he's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Hopefully Wolves don't sack him. But there is strong rumours Wolves are going to lose another big hitter in the summer to comply with FFP.
Yeah.
So
Neto,
I guess
Cunha.
Neto's the one that was rumoured, but he keeps picking up injuries. He was good again towards the end of the season, so maybe Arsenal will come back for him.
It's just the injuries,
maybe
that's what would put teams off, isn't it? But
although if he's playing against Stacker for that position,
yeah,
and he's going to get more time to rest and less problems, and so there's more chances there, I think. But again, it's hard to tell. It's hard to, until teams start making signings and you don't really know which direction they're going in, kind of.
Yeah.
Because at one point it looked like Arsenal were going to lose Arteta to Barcelona and Edu was going to go to someone like Newcastle. So that would have been your whole recruitment team just smashed to bits. Now it looks like both are staying and they're more determined than ever to win the league. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see where everyone ends up in a couple of weeks. So help me God, Tottenham better. I don't need Tottenham to buy a striker. They just need to buy players.
Yeah, although you could do with a striker. Definitely need.
We don't need one. I mean, we could keep with Richarlison, but we've got Donnelly in the reserves, who's fantastic. Who's a youth player. He's only about 18. He's made a couple of substitute appearances. We've got Mikey Moore, who's absolutely great. He's only 16 though, so probably a bit too soon. Then we got Soonsop Bell, who's been great for the under-21s, and we won the under-21 league today. So that's how good he's been. He's got like 11, 14 goals, something silly. And then there's Will Lancashire. Now, no one's talking about Tottenham about Will Lancashire because they're all spitting things about Donnelly and Mikey Moore. But Lancashire is 18 and he scored 32 goals for the under-21s this year.
Okay.
To take us to, he scored 2 today. He is fantastic, and we should definitely be giving that kid a chance. If we loan him out and then go buy an expensive youngster like we did with Eliz, I'll be fucking livid because he's adapted to the league. He can play that kind of football. So just keep him. Give him a go. Give him a go over pre-season. I don't care if you loan him out after that, but give him a goddamn go to stake his claim.
Yeah.
The reason Postecoglou was brought in was to play youth players, right? And he gave Adogi that instant in. And so I'd like a couple more to get a chance. I really thought we were going to against Sheffield United because I thought, well, it's all but done. Give a couple of the lads a run out kind of thing. But, I mean, he took it serious because he wanted to finish 5th to make a point.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
probably
I'd really like
couldn't if you couldn't lose a position, maybe they would have done it differently. But yeah,
think so. I mean, again, all I'm saying is Lancashire is great, and I just after today, I hope Postecoglou was watching the under-21s today. We won 3-1 to win it, so yeah, it's an exciting time because it means we can use the money elsewhere on positions that are problematic, like the midfield.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see. Same with Arsenal now. I mean, I'm saying all this, and then someone at the Euros might set the world alight who's
true.
A relatively decent fee because they're in the last year of their contract, but they're young as well, and then everyone's fighting for him. Elise might be available if that rumor is true, and he's only available for like 30 million.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'd love Tottenham to get him.
Yeah.
I'd love Tottenham to get both Elise and Eze, but that's just not feasible.
I mean, if it
So yeah,
did, then yeah, that'd be yeah,
it'd be great.
yeah,
That'd be great for any player in front of them because look how they've transformed Mateta. So if
yeah.
they can do that for Mateta, they can do that for a youth player or a Charlatan.
Because
You know,
if Palace keep those players, I'm gonna have them quite high in predictions next year.
yeah, I think ninth, 10th would be fair, depending on who they go and buy.
Yeah,
And providing they, I
I'd
think,
maybe have them higher. Don't know.
well, it depends when we submit the thingies in.
Yeah,
So if we don't submit them in straight away, we submit them after the like a couple weeks after the Euros. If they're still all fit by then
yeah,
yeah, because I think going into last season, I think Elise and Eze were both injured at the time because they had surgery. So
yeah. Problem is, we'll have to do the predictions, and then the transfer window's still open, and then
transfer window still open. A team emerges that's really, really, really bad. One team emerges that's really, really, really good.
yeah,
You know, for some reason, all of us won't put Man City top, or we will, and then they won't finish top next year.
yeah. Probably next year I will, but hopefully they don't finish top again. But I'll probably just put them
No,
there. Yeah,
so there's that running for it.
yeah,
Um, and then you just have to kind of figure out who's going to be the surprise package. And I don't know at the moment.
yeah.
West Ham maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Lopetegui wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Fiore got sacked, so maybe not this season, but the second season. Lopetegui, the pre-season last summer with Wolves, they looked so good. And then they got rid of Lopetegui. Gary O'Neill come in, and in like the Man United game, the first was that Wolves' first game when they had that penalty denied. You know,
it's one of the early
and then it
games.
was
Yeah, it wasn't the first, but
uh, no, okay, one of the first, but then it was just it constantly kept looking like um, Wolves were great. They just couldn't bloody score.
yeah.
So yeah, and
That's
it's
why I
it's been
don't
that.
have Wolves attackers in my team.
Apart from that run when Cunha went on just as good a run as
Yeah, I had Cunha in my draft, and he did me very well. So
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah. Again, we'll come back to this in probably like a month.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
FPL will start soon. I
Don't need to
think
think
the
about it just yet. So
no, the league don't start for like 80 days, 85 days. So
yeah,
there's a long time.
yeah,
Um, and I don't think I'm playing Euro Fantasy. I was tempted, and then I just thought, nah, I
nah,
I can't be dealing with it because it's a new set of rules. I might do the Sky one because I know how to play Sky Fantasy anyway. Maybe. But I don't really want that stress of having to do it daily because you'd have to do it for every league game, like
yeah,
group game. So
yeah. Nah, I'm gonna enjoy the break. So
yeah,
yeah,
do something useful for the period and just I
yeah.
don't know, catch up with some reading.
Mm,
Finally build some of this furniture sitting around my house.
mm, sounds fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. Well, on that note, I think we can wrap it up there. Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Average FPLers. Yeah, and enjoy. Have a good summer, I guess. And yeah, see you next season. Till then, take care. See you soon. Bye bye.
Ta-ra.